Hi everyone, I'm McDices, and we're back with another episode of Speedruns from the Crypt. We're pretty much back from the very minor vacation with SGDQ. Hope you all had a fun time watching the event. It was a great event. There's a lot of great runs, and more importantly, a lot of great horror runs. Hope you've all been doing well, and hope you've all been having a great time. And as a result of the recent SGDQ, we don't always get to see every run that gets accepted or submitted, so for the first episode back, I decided that the theme would be runs that were essentially kind of like, you know, we're going to be on there or on backup, but didn't quite get the spotlight. Because there's some really cool stuff that we don't always get to see that could make it on, but sometimes doesn't. So we should check that out, shouldn't we? We're going to have 3 runs for you today. They're all going to be very different types of runs, but they should all be very fun. I do hope you've all been well, and with that being said, I think we can start going into our first game. Our first game of the night is going to be The Evil Within 2 with Stevie Blue. All right, take it away.
Thank you, Ek. Hello, everyone. I'm Stevie Blue _. I do my best to speedrun horror games, mainly the Evil Within series, mainly Within 2. I've dabbled with world records time to time. I hold most of them now, but see if we can do anything close to that right here. So the category is New Game Plus, any percent. Effectively, the time will start when we can move. So this is in about 5 seconds. So once this little animation's played here, shouldn't be too much longer, and then we'll get the show started. Here we go. So. And 3.
No.
Oh,
No,
bit premature. Go 3, 2, 1. Okay, start. So for the first, I want to say 10 minutes. No, about 5 minutes. There's nothing really that separates the categories other than crouch and speed. The main thing being that you have fully upgraded crouch and speed, which is not used for speedrunning normally in the game, but it's supposed to be to do with you know, sneaking around, killing people. But we're going to use it to traverse the hardest bit in the game, probably the first house. We're going to get upstairs to Lily's room as quick as we can. So here we go, some intense stuff for a bit. Love it. But effectively this game has, well, this category has 2 major ways of saving time. You have what's called a fling, which works by moving forward and backwards and meleeing at the same time. And it just throws you based on the terrain that you're going over. So let's see if I can get a little quick door open here. Pog. So if you aim at a certain part of that wall, you can just grab it way before you're around the corner. And we're going to basically abuse that. The second one is wall clipping.
Great.
You know, like on Gears of War games, when you can hold a certain direction to move around an edge of a corner? You can do that on this.
Yes.
But if you time it properly, you can go the opposite way and it clips you through the wall. So we're going to be using that to avoid probably 20 minutes through this run. This category is almost an hour quicker than no major skips. There's some crazy skips. It completely breaks the game.
So that actually does. I do have a question about it because I was looking at the leaderboard when putting this on here because I saw it on the GDQ roster, all that. I was like, hey, this run I want to see, and I noticed there's no major skips, like glitchless, and then there's just the standard 80% New Game Plus. So what are the no major skips that we will be seeing today, or the major skips I should say that we're seeing?
So the major skips you'll be seeing are any flings, so things that will launch you forward, they're not allowed, and any wall clippings not allowed. And I want to say off the top of my head, that's everything.
So they're going to be really impactful.
Yeah, they're the only 2 skips. So you're allowed, you'll see. One of them saves 3 chapters.
3?
Because there's a wall that you're supposed to get to. You're supposed to run around for around 20 minutes and do all these little crazy things, but you can just fly over it. And it just completely cuts out most of the game. A really good boss fight actually cuts out.
I will say peek the run. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I peek at the run because when I saw it, I was really interested. I know you've done this in a lot of things, so I'm intrigued. I want to see how you skip 3 chapters here.
Yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to showing it off, to be honest. It's definitely interesting. It surprised a lot of people, I think. That's if it plays ball anyway. It can be a little pain. It really can.
I will say, though, even if things are going difficult, we're pretty generous on the show, so don't worry too much on, estimates right now.
No, and thank you. So the first little strategy, I guess, is you get blinded there. The second time it tries to blind you, if you just look at the floor, doesn't blind him. So wait for it to say cover code 3, look down, and the camera will flash, but Sebastian's not having any of it. He just runs straight on through. There we go. Nice. You'll see his. This is off as it kind of acts as like a safe room or a base or something like that where you can save, heal, all that sort of good stuff. What I will show you on the way through, I'm wondering if it's here. There
are photos of a bunch.
There we go. Do we have it yet? The coffee cup?
A cat.
Not yet.
I don't ever remember owning a cat.
So that on your right is your little save station. We won't be using that. I hope.
Be a way out. Why couldn't my memory just
Mirrors are like it was in the first game. They're kind of ways for the devs to tie in storylines that are crazy, I guess. But they can teleport you around.
Looking glass.
I'll have a quick sip of this. Evil in 2 cup. You'll see that in a minute. So this will spawn us in just... This is kind of where the game becomes itself. Random parts of the map, most of it missing. Halls appearing, disappearing. Very spoopy times indeed. Very spoopy.
That it is.
Is this the right place?
Yeah.
Quick.
To be honest,
Oh, go ahead.
So carry on. I was just going to say that when I first played this, I genuinely couldn't play it on my own. As a fully grown adult, I had to be with someone. Because it was horrible.
So I guess, I'm gonna ask a question on that. So since this game was quite terrifying, what made you want to speedrun this?
It was. I watched someone that inspired me in terms of. I saw a nice speedrun and thought that I could do it maybe, and this was just the game I was playing at the time. I thought, what could I? Because I think that's a lot of people's first question when they want to get in speedrunning is.
Of course.
But I don't know what to speedrun. So I just picked the game I'm currently playing and enjoying, and it was this. So it's basically sheer fluke, I guess, and just really enjoyed it. I like the survival horror genre.
It's a fun one.
One of the search team.
It is a great one, just because it's not natural to play it fast, I guess. So
Someone
this
tried to block the way out.
storyline so far, from the first, I'll skip the first game out, I guess. But we've escaped the stem from the first game. If you don't know what that is, check it. It's basically it's like the Matrix. There we go. We'll just say that. It's everyone's plugged in by their consciousness. We got out. Our daughter's died, but we're hearing that she maybe hasn't died, and she's been kidnapped to be used as the core for this STEM system, as they call it. And we've been persuaded to go back in again to save her.
Question.
And that's what we're doing now.
Are you sprinting in a particular way? Because he's like doing like a little
Yes.
dance or something.
So, how rude of me to not introduce the stutter running. So, effectively, the best way to get the most out of your stamina is to sprint on and off for now. But later on, when you can aim down sight, if you just tap it, it will give you maybe a quarter of a second immunity to losing any stamina. So you can kind of sprint almost as quick as not aiming, but not depleting any stamina. So there's a lot of that. There's also kind of cover-to-cover running where you look at the wall and hold space and you'll run over to it. It's just an abuse of his line of sight not spawning. But you see that little arrow by my knee? If you look at something, you can hold space and sprint over to it. That's another way of getting full sprint without using any stamina, and it's a great way to get around. But New Game Plus, you tend to not lean on it so much because your sprint's already maximum, but anyone that's played these games knows that Sebastian's cardio at the start, I think you can sprint for 3 seconds on the first game without needing to stop. He's exhausted after 3 seconds, which is brilliant.
So for New Game Plus, is that essentially primarily for the larger sprint meter, or will it have like other benefits later?
It's the Magnum. You also have infinite ammo, as is it's basically an uncapped category with no rules.
Right.
It's just complete it as quick as you can, and yeah, the sprint definitely helps.
My other question from earlier actually was
instant
going
spawn?
to be based on like what weapons would you end up using, because I know this game has you find a lot of things.
Yeah, so this game is Magnum's the strongest, and then any other situational things where you maybe need to buy yourself some time or use the electrobolt to get through like switches on the wall and stuff. That's kind of the only two things you'll be using. So it's the difficulty in this category is the glitches, and you'll see why. They are just a pain. They're so precise, so just horrible. They're really, really scary to do, and these make it a little bit more scary. So this bit, we're just kind of getting the tension rising, building up, and we're about to meet our first little nemesis, who's one of my favorite characters in any game of all time, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I feel like I know him. He is pretty cool. So, tension's still building.
I do want to say really quick,
nice
though,
little selfie. Yeah, carry on.
For chat, if you remember, we actually, I guess this game should seem fairly familiar because we did have the predecessor to this game on the show previously. For the seasoned viewers, you might remember we had the Evil Within 1. So I'm actually kind of also curious, are there any major play differences between those two games?
It just feels much smoother. It feels more consistent, more predictable. Even than 1 is, because I also speedrun that, but not to the level of Jigsaw Killer. He's just the go at that game. But it just feels way more polished than that one. But in essence, it is very similar. This is more based, I guess, on survival exploration, and it's a little bit more open world. So it does feel different in that sense. But the speedruns kind of do share, you know, they kind of lend to each other, definitely. Right, so we're kind of almost out of what I deem to be the intro, where there's nothing really major going on. It's, you know, nothing difficult, nothing inconsistent. So here, if we look backwards while we move, we're supposed to get scared by a little chainsaw coming. I say little chainsaw, that, you know, not exactly true. It's a big buzz blade, but so if you move backwards, it actually knocks our character forwards, which is a fun little trick. And we are completely safe now. We actually don't find any other enemies, so that's good. Nothing behind me through this glass. Not one thing. So that's nice. Oh. And she's got many heads. So, get through this bit. Find our best friend again. Here he is. And for this run, I used the controller mainly to press A as well as pressing E, so it makes the spamming a little bit less fatiguing on my hand, which is just a little bit laziness, but nice little life hack for you.
So you play entirely with the controller then?
I play entirely with mouse and keyboard, sorry. And then the keyboard, sorry, the controller is for yeah, just that bit, and there's a bit of auto aim that helps if you want to be super optimal.
I like that. That's pretty fun.
Yep. So we've just been shanked big time.
Where am I?
We won't be touching that syringe on the side because it's new game place. We don't need it. And we find our trusty sidearm, which again we won't be using. He spots that well, to be fair. He does spot that well. But how much of a terrible detective he is, he's pretty good at finding that. So this will be where the game now breaks open. It's opened the floodgates, no pun intended, and we are going to be...
This is the right place.
So if you picture this next section, it's supposed to be a run in like a horseshoe type shape. But if we're just going to leap over the top, hopefully,
I hope you're here.
and skip a good couple of minutes. The problem is, if we fling too early, it will fling us further and we'll fly out the map and have to reload. So pray for me. Here we go. See if we can get it. Perfect. So, I mean, there's no way I can really justify how that doesn't look really crazy. Oh, I've got the controller lent on my leg. That's pretty embarrassing. I remember having that. I've had that before, and I thought my game was broken. But the trigger was lent on my leg. So, that's quite cringe.
Great trick, by the way. I'll give a clap for that. So,
yeah.
What happens
Thank you.
if you said you can fly too far?
Yeah, so it's timing based and also where you're aiming and frames. So there's quite a lot that have to go right. So, I mean, that one is one of the more consistent ones, but it kind of looks easier than it is. So, yeah, if I'd have gone a little bit too early, it would have shot me further, and I would have not hit a sort of invisible wall to keep me in the map. I'd have just flown straight out of it, and the only way out of that is to reload your save. If I'd have gone too late, I wouldn't have moved at all. I'd have just swung my knife. That one is all right. You'll see some... I mean, they're not going to all go right. Let's just say that. I would actually be interested to see what the task time for this category is, because it would be... You're never going to get them all right. It's humanly impossible.
All right, I gotta ask as well, since, you know, you're running this game a lot. Doing those slings, is it like mostly feel like you feel like you did it for the right amount of time? Like, how do you know that you're going to be able to get it?
So, for the most part, there are some the way you know, we kind of aim at a certain place and set up like that. And there's some you just wing it, and it kind of feels like I should go now. There's some you're looking for a little cue, like a little movement of the floor or something like that. But that one there is feel. I couldn't tell you where I look, and you know, I'm sure there's a specific way to do it, but I kind of just go for it. Some you have a little bit of freedom to do that. Some it's like, if it's not perfect, you're not going anywhere. And they're the ones that make you want to quit the category and go to no major skips and get a bit of consistency. So, we are getting to what we're calling the warehouse skip, and it is probably one of the most visually satisfying ones. This saves us about 20 minutes. There's a big bunch of storyline that we're supposed to be doing, but what we instead do is we switch it to 60 frames, and we are gonna fly through the air and land on fly through the air, climb over an invisible ledge in the ceiling, in the air, sorry, and land on the roof. Then we're gonna fall through the roof and trick the game into thinking we've not broken any rules. So we line our feet up in a particular place on this line here between two markings. We aim about there, and we pray. Here we go. We didn't move, so that was too late. Let's try it again.
All right, so if I'm guessing, you're using
okay, second try. That's good.
Oh, wow.
We got it. Yes, it's we got the. It's to do with that little tiny curb.
Okay.
We fall through the roof, and we've just saved ourselves about 15 minutes. If we look up at the ceiling here, it saves a little audio cue. He usually gets stunned and goes, "Lily's doll, she's been here." But not only do we not enjoy that audio line after 750 hours of running the game, we like to save the time. So
Okay. So
that was pretty huge. I'm quite happy with that.
So I definitely have to ask this. How in the world did you find out that... Because I'm assuming that you did that sprint running thing to the lamppost in a certain position. That's how that works, roughly?
Yes. Yes.
Calm down.
How did you find that doing that would fling you exactly to the roof?
Coming into this communicator.
So it's... just quickly, sorry, we're just loading. We're waiting for it to autosave, and we're going to load it twice. The certain autosaves makes the game think we're doing the game in the right order. However, we are not. That was not how the developer intended it. It's one of those things, as soon as you find out that you can fly somewhere, human nature is to think, hang on a minute, I wonder if I can fly here. Or,
right.
Obviously, there's a certain amount of fluke the first time, but I found quite a few glitches on this that you get a sense for how you think the game would work. Very quickly, I'm gonna switch it to display base half. This is one of the, if I get this, I will be very happy. This is the church fling. So we line ourselves up with a line on the floor here. We want to get it on that particular spot, aim at that particular spot, and here we go. Nope, we didn't get it.
Lost him again.
I'm gonna try it once more after this
Hope I can
cutscene.
reach O'Neill this time.
So line up on the little dark line on the floor here.
O'Neill, it's about.
Aim about there, and I'm going to set it up for after this cutscene. This saves about 30 to 45 seconds, and it just looks rad, so I want to try and get it. This one is just attempting to fly as the crow flies, as it were. Like you're just saving yourself 45 seconds of running. Church skip, we've got this. Thanks for the good luck. We got this. This one is the cause of many resets, I have to say. No, there we go. No, we're just going to give that one a miss. In fact, no, we're not. I got a good feeling about this. This is the one right here. I like to do it fourth try anyway. It's, you know.
Of course.
Excuse me, can you please work? Okay, that wasn't it, but you get the idea. If I was 10 foot higher, I flew in the right way, just didn't fly the right height. But the game is now letting you into a little bit of how it works or doesn't work. But you'll notice the map is completely not right.
Right.
Half the things aren't loaded, most of the enemies aren't loaded. There's this weird glowy texture or kind of wavy texture in the air. That's because you're not supposed to really be here yet. I'm supposed to be fighting someone back at the warehouse, but the flings help me not do that.
Huh.
A lot of fences and doors haven't loaded, which is nice for the time. We don't have to do the little door animation. But effectively, I'd have landed about here if I was, you know, able to do them consistently. But that's part of the fun, I guess. So we go back to O'Neill. Tell him that we definitely haven't. This conversation is basically, did you just fling? 100% no. And he goes, really? And you go, yeah, no, honestly, I promise. And then he gives you a gas mask.
You'd never make it through alive without this.
Deadly gas leaks, huh?
Wait, so he acknowledges that you shouldn't be here right now?
No, he doesn't really. I'm just being silly. Just being a silly little monkey.
I know this guy gets silly.
It's on. Sorry?
I know the guy has the really fun lines, so the game does it kind of meta.
Yeah, yes, he does. That's true. So this one's the Matrix Fling. It works the same as the warehouse, just with different frames and a slight different setup. So your foot position's the same. If I get this is also one of the most visually satisfying ones. Hope I get it. Go on then. Go on then. Yeah, perfect. So you hit off that thing and you land right where you need to be through the roof. Let's go. That was awesome. That feels good. I love getting that one.
Was talking about.
So that's just saved a run. It's done nothing then. That's not skipped any sections. It's just stopped me having to run across the better part of Union.
Huh.
That one's awesome. I love that one. So we bind our crossbow. This next chapter is going to be difficult for me to explain based on how frequent the skips are. It's kind of just back to back to back. So I'll do my best, but there'll be a lot of blabbling and a lot of confusion most likely. So we're gonna. This is not a glitch. You can do this in any game. So if you just shoot an electro bolt, it shorts the circuit out there and lets you get through here. And now we just start flinging forward. Here we go. Now the absolute chaos begins. So we get to our first wall clip here. If you aim at this at a certain specific point, you save a little tiny audio line. There, you wait for it to be a hand and not a magnifying glass. Get that. And we get here, and the wall clips are easiest at 30 FPS. So we get set up. We don't exit to main menu. That's the last thing we want to do. So 30 FPS, and I'll see if I can get it. So we get here, and you'll know if we get it because we'll go through the wall. There's one. That's through. Sweet. And there's the next one. So we're out the map now. Completely how they wanted us to play the game. Cool. We got them both first try. That is. So they are 100% feel. And the next little fling, we're going across this little bridge that we shouldn't be able to, which saves us about a minute of running. Oh, we got that first try as well. Please don't put me in the ceiling. So you cover to cover there to try and fall down. Please. There we go. Perfect. So the wall clips, you maybe got a little insight into how they work. He's trying to move around a corner, but because you've kind of flipped the timing, he kind of bounces a little bit and he just goes the complete opposite way. It's very, very cool. Thank you guys. Now it's just a case of running down to the lament. This lady is a one-hit kill on any difficulty. The only difference is on casual, you can hold a bottle and it will auto kind of free you from her grasp and consume the bottle. But if your timing's right, you shouldn't really need it. But this is how cover to cover saves you in the game. Gives you a little sprint and a little kind of lunge forward, gets you out of stuff. So as you see here, sprint through. She's used all my sprint, but I can still do it with cover to cover. Code for this is 124. Bish bash bosh, and she's right up my royal hiney. I'm gonna use it here to try and dodge it. She actually got me, wow. She hasn't got me in probably, I want to say a month.
You know what they say?
Yeah, some curse of the marathon, that is.
Marathon luck. I remember one of our later runners isn't very happy. I actually use him as the token example of marathon luck. Let's just say he didn't have a good hallway last time he was on the show.
Okay. So, it's on this very cool. So we just loaded an autosave that took us up the top of the ladder, and now we just back-to-back flings and just kind of pray they work. That one did not. There is quite an intense risk of us falling out the map in these ones. That one worked. brilliant. Okay, we'll just leave that one. This one in particular sends you through the bottom of that pipe and you just have to reload a minute back and it's just no fun. So we're just trying to save as much floor distance as we can. There's nothing groundbreaking other than the fact we're just breaking the time and space continuum, but other than that, it's pretty normal stuff. It's a very strange run. So this is interesting. There's a quicker way of doing this. You don't have to go back this way. We can just go left and skip through the wall. However, the map's not there when you get through it. So all we're doing here is going through the game normally, just to this point, and then we go back on ourselves. Now the map's... So that's loaded the map in the complete other area of the map for some reason. If we could find a way to load that piece of map without going through there, we'd save quite a bit of time. That's the goal, but I'm nowhere near smart enough to work that out, to be honest.
The wildest part about listening you talk about this game is that I know for a fact you said that you're somehow going to skip 3 chapters, and
Yes.
you've done skips that skipped 1 chapter that apparently saved 20 minutes. So I'm wondering
Yes, it is
how,
insane.
like, what that setup's going to be.
There we go. Yeah. So we're hopefully just going to get through this wall. This saves us a lot of time. And a full boss fight, got it? So we just went through a wall there, that's all that was. Nothing, you know, no big deal. Okay. So whenever you see me crouch and just swing the knife, that's me attempting to shoot forward. But the game's not having any of it. So, pretty simple little cupboard to cover here. So you move around it normally there, because it's a really awkward wall to get onto. Go to 30 to make it a little bit more forgiving. There you go, move through the wall and it will drop me down. Just save me going down all the stairs, sorry. English is hard. And we're gonna do the same thing again. This one has a fairly high risk of you just getting stuck in the wall, because it seems to be like double paned wall. So there's a little gap in between that you can get stuck in. Wow, we're getting them all first try. They are very awkward. So there we go, shot me out. I should add that the flings I do, you can't do them on 30 FPS. You have to have a certain amount of frames for it to really work. The higher the better. But there is a too high, and that's when it doesn't work. So the goo hasn't loaded, but it's still very much there. We've completely despawned that whole little mini boss sneaky section if you played the game.
Right.
The music still hits, but the drama's not quite there.
Question actually. So,
Yeah.
how did you guys actually find how to do the flames and some of these tricks? Or is it like an accident?
I am a little bit late on the scene. I came when the seed had definitely already been spawned, so it were. I've just kind of tried to optimize things, but I definitely was nowhere near any sort of finding of anything. But this is, I think, the patch it was released on. You have to down patch the game to get it like this. They've fixed this since. But I'm sure whoever discovered it had a pretty nice, fun evening, and probably didn't get believed by many people that he was telling. Just flew out the map. Yeah, of course you have. So this one just skips a little cutscene. There's a trigger across this door here, and if you go through it, it starts a cutscene. But if you just aim here and do a simple little that, it never loads. So you can just keep on running through. And they're very fun to do, by the way. I recommend if anyone's interested in these sorts of things. There's just a file you need to swap, and then you can try it yourself. It's so fun. It's very fun to look for glitches. It's like trying to find an equation to a kind of language that you don't speak very fluently. It's kind of the best way I can describe it. I'm not all into coding and things and learning how games work, but I just know when something saves time, I guess. All these kitchens, they're fun. So this is the one that saves 3 chapters, the Art Wall skip. It's as simple as there's a wall and we're going to jump over it, and definitely not jump out of the map. That's not what we're going to do. So
the theater.
The reason you'll see me sometimes switch to 60 FPS or display base half, or just have my VSync disabled, is based on how many frames I want. So 60 is perfect because it's always going to be at least 60 because we run the game in 720. And it makes it completely consistent in air quotes, in terms of frames anyway. So we want to aim about here, and we should bounce off an invisible wall and get over this wall if we can. No, this one's a bit tricky, so we didn't go over that. That was the aim. So we'll try again. You could be here for 10 minutes and still save time, so We're a bit Gucci, is to say. Come on, chat, we got this. And... Okay. Not done it yet. So I'm just showing you what happens when you don't do it.
Sure.
But now I'll show you how... And now I'll show you what happens when you do it.
So kind of more in depth on the fling, just kind of looking at the whole thing. Is it more to do with the aiming and the slope, or what's the exact setup for this for people who might be kind of maybe it's got
so, yeah. Just quickly, I've got to come back here because if you don't run to that blood patch, the rest of the map doesn't load. So you get through here and you're just stuck in a square. There's no doors and there's no way out.
Huh.
It's very deep actually. If you get thinking too much after a bit of a hard night, it gets a bit scary. But so all you need, I mean, apart from the tech side of things, is to move forward and backwards and melee at the same time, and you will move forward. Then the tricky part comes of any sort of raised ramp of any sort will just fly you, and then it's a case of just aiming it. So you have to do it on mouse and keyboard because you can't move forward and backwards on a controller at the same time. So it's WS and click. That's it. There's no art to it. And then it's just learning the setups. It's just fun to just mess around with, though. It really is awesome.
It looks like a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It definitely is.
You want to stop me, but you have failed.
So the game gets a bit normal for a bit now. It gets very New Game Plus-y, so bosses don't last long. But there's a lot of little tiny min-max sort of time saves coming up, so they're a lot of fun. But this is a very consistent part of the run. This bit, don't know why, reminds me of the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time. Because, you know, like when the tunnels start twisting. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Essentially. You'll see, and it just kind of reminds me of that, although I haven't played it since I was about 8, so could be remembering it completely different, to be honest. So, this eye on the left doesn't like me very much. It will kill me in one hit if I stay in its sight for too long. My plan is to not stay in its sight for too long. So, it's quite scary, but you can just run forward here. You got to make sure you crouch here, and when you climb down, do not be sprinting. You have just enough time to get through that. I was about a quarter of a second from dying, and you always are, so you have to just believe, and you will achieve. Simple as that. This one, it's a fun little thing. If you reload the game, it gives you a better cycle on this eyeball. Now, I haven't got the amount of confidence with this bit that I should. Yeah. Little fuse there if anyone's interested. So here, cover to cover's used well. It can get you through this bit where you shouldn't really be able to sprint, but you can get through just quick enough and climb up. And that's the little scary one-hit kill bit. Over and done with. Not fun to do that on Classic. The nerves are definitely tested there, really are. So, we're now going up to Stefano. One of the cooler characters. I hope he beats me so we get to see him more. Thank you, guys.
Alright, where the fuck did you go?
It does the typical horror game thing where it's a room full of ammo and you think, hang on a minute, what's coming up? You're not giving me ammo to save, so... Let me run around here, nice little visuals. This is the place we were at earlier. Should have took us a bit longer to get here though. The game's thinking, hang on, it's only been 20 minutes. So we're just, this is the sort of stamina manipulation I was on about. If you look at my stamina bar, it's barely going down, but I'm kind of sprinting the whole time. Funny little thing, for some reason, if you crouch as you open that door, it stops an animation where it goes to barge it, it doesn't open, and then you open it a second time. If you crouch at the same time, it opens, so I don't know why. And bang, bang. Phase 1 done, very difficult. This one's even more difficult.
Also, really quick, I get to say, I get to have the first one since we got back. The run is live, the stream is live, but chat is pre-recorded. I can't tell you how many
So
times
that was Stefano.
Good.
No, that was Stefano. That was it.
Oh.
4 shots. That was him.
That was wow. He's dead.
Yep. Big build-up. That was when it feels very New Game Plus. That's one of the more fun parts in the run on New Game. Very fun fight. Fortunately, I didn't get to show you that. So, we're coming to a skip that I call the reset skip. I call it that because this is where runs unfortunately go to never be seen again. It is probably the most crazy, the most crazy skip in the game. And just like that, we're at chapter 9. So we are gonna go through probably the coolest, aesthetically coolest bit in the game.
This place?
I quite like it. So we meet our second villain, called Triple Question Mark. I mean, they could have probably come up with a better name, but I mean, it's all good. See if we get a little fling here. No. We will find his name out.
What was that? Oh, shit.
Language. So, we will be using the crossbow again. This is the by the time bolt, where we just need to turn a valve or pull something and just need to buy ourselves a little bit of time. We'll be doing that with smoke bolts, which also kill things on New Game Plus, which is quite fun. I can't tell you how long I've spent on this bit just trying to find ways of not having to do this bit, and there's just to no avail. It just seems like we're stuck in doing this. It just feels, when you can skip through walls, fly across the map, break the game, it feels like doing something normal like this. It feels like we're not doing it the best way. But I think we are.
Looks like I can use this.
Okay, right, skip that. And I like to test my reflexes here and just get this guy if I can. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, I got him. It's going to be a good day. That's what I've learned. So, smoke bot here. Kill that guy. Smoke bot there, kill them 2 guys. And just kind of smoke bot there in case any stragglers want to ruin our day. My controller turned itself off. That's never good because the battery's probably low. I'm going to actually have to aim later on in the game, which is never good. You don't want to see my aim. Or lack of.
So I guess another question really quick.
So,
oh, good.
Yeah, carry on. No, carry on.
So how was it just like the Magnum just kind of the strongest weapon to use out of all the weapons, or would there be like an alternative weapon? Or
no, it's just the strongest. It's just the strongest in all areas, unfortunately.
cool.
I say unfortunately, there's always going to be a most optimum, isn't there, in the speedrun? But yeah, just the best.
Anyway, as you're
And
saying.
if you're wondering how to unlock infinite ammo, it's complete the game on classic, and good luck, because it can be tricky. But if anyone needs help with that, there's nothing really I love more than helping people in this game. I just want a community as big as possible. Whether it be casually playing, speedruns, whatever it is, I'm here to help, and I absolutely love it. So, just going to fly forward a bit. Interesting little thing about this part, this little line on the floor is the trigger. If you jump past it, you can just go and stand next to Triple Question Mark. And so I just thought it was quite fun. It doesn't save it, in fact it costs you time, but very Evil Within, falling through the ground and then it kind of flips over and everything's the wrong way around. Just reminds you you're playing an Evil Within game. We're about 2 minutes away from what's going to make me the most nervous in the whole run. Because the price of failure is many minutes. So, please, can we just get this right? The worst part is it's two parts of the skip as well. If I get it, guys, there's gonna be a pop-off, and I'm just sorry in advance.
You're more than welcome to be happy. Nothing wrong with being happy. Although there's a question from chat I would like to ask. For the Evil Within speedrun community, is there like a Discord or anything on like speedrun.com, or like how would someone learn all this stuff?
There is, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there is.
So speedrun.com should have that information, I believe.
Correct.
Is that Lily?
So, these enemies are really cool. A lot more bearable on New Game Plus. They ruin a lot of fun for a lot of people on anything higher than casual, to be honest. They're really, really pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to make light work of those. We're going to make light work, and then we're going to get onto the real boss, which is this next skip. I can't tell you how scared I am for it. I can, actually. I'm pretty scared. I need it to go right. So this part here is where... Wow. These guys... So I always tend to shoot under their armpit, and I can't tell you why. And if you asked me to aim there, I would never be able to do it. Love doing this with his arms. For some reason, if you just keep spamming aim, he does a bit of rubber arm sometimes. What's he doing? Why is the gun such a percent? Okay, there you go.
Stefano.
Okay, so we put on uncapped frames. Now,
This guy knew him.
please, let's get this. So we need to fling into the ceiling. Just bear with me on that. Fling into the ceiling, get caught in the rafters, climb out the map, run along an invisible wall, and drop down into the next cutscene for the next chapter. Simple? Okay, here we go.
All right.
Wow, we got it first try. Okay, that's the first. Nope. Okay, I've genuinely never seen it do that before. Once you're up there usually.
There's our hotfix bingo. That's never happened before.
Okay, there we go. I'll take that. 2 out of 3. That's really hard to do. So we aim ourselves around here. Just be confident. Here we go. Just be confident. This is the scary bit. Run on there. Oh, he's only gone and done it. Okay. Everyone relax. I'm not nervous. You're nervous. Don't throw me off the map. You wouldn't dare because it's... Oh, I've done it. Alright, okay. That's it. I'm over it. I'm already over it. So we've dropped down into chapter 10 somehow. Saved minutes there. Right, we get out our... There's no time to celebrate. We get out our shot bolts for maximum ranges. Okay, I can't aim down enough. What? Where's this last enemy? Oh, really? You're cool, bro.
You've done this before.
Okay.
Too many times to count.
There's some people in this part. Chat, should we make Kidman evil, or sorry, Torres evil or good in this next part? Massive difference. Massive difference there.
What's the difference?
I'm gonna get you guys' hopes. There's no difference. I like to get chat's hope, but I'm so sorry. It's a bit of visuals. It's my little fun game to get me through this cutscene that I've watched far too many times.
Let's go with evil then.
We'll go with the evil, okay. It is the evil then, after all.
It's not just the evil within.
It's the evil on. It will be in a minute anyway.
Oh no, I was gonna do it's the evil within.
Yeah. 2, it's so good and bad.
I love that just the meme where you go
So
back
good.
to like chapter, I think it's like during chapter 7, and then you get the stupid like, he just says there's evil outside.
Yeah.
Watch out!
It's so good. So you want to see how good the auto aim is? Do you see it just locking on his head? This isn't me. I am.
Doesn't matter. Just jump.
It's insane. Casual. Like if you struggle with aiming, pop it on casual and use controller. You can then still enjoy the game.
Huh.
It would just be a shame to not ever experience the game if don't let a lack of aim get you down. There's an angel statue up there for anyone that needs it. I've got it. But.
This way.
So, we'll make her evil, and I'm so sorry at how disappointed you're going to be. This is what I class as her being evil. She looks like she's playing Knights of the Old Republic, and she's chose all dark
And who are you?
choices, and she's gone Sith.
No time for 20
Oh, it's kind of like giving Joseph the bow tie in the Evil Within 1.
It is, well done.
Yeah,
That's some knowledge.
yeah.
It is just like that. Only way more consistent and way less useful.
Kidman told me to keep an eye
I've had
out
it
for
before,
you.
I just wasn't concentrating, I shot
She
it,
said
and
she would try to get your
very
help,
close to
but-
dying in
Although
my heart.
she currently has a
And I'm very nervous.
fire arrow in her neck.
I'm lost. What plan?
Oh.
Getting Lily out of here. And then
Also, I have to ask,
taking Mobius down.
did the 3 chapter skip happen, or?
Wait a second.
Yeah, that's happened. It's
What
the
is it?
art wall one from...
Okay.
I missed it a few times.
Okay.
The one where I kind of bounce around the invisible wall.
Okay. I wasn't sure which one it was,
Way back
because
to your
I saw a
safe
lot
house.
of
Yeah,
wild skips
very-
here. I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
I don't know which one is the 3 chapters.
It's very disappointing. I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have sold it so high. But that's what I do. I let people down, so...
No, it was a
all
good skip. It was a very good skip.
hold
They've
on.
all been so impressive.
you.
I'm wondering like, Which one is the
Didn't say
one?
anything
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I mean that one there
she
is
wasn't able to debrief you on that in
the
front of
most risky
everybody.
by far. Yeah, I mean it saves a lot, but
Over here.
it's not. It doesn't follow the Evil Within 2 glitch maths where it's not based
One
on
of
how
us has
hard it
gotta
is or
live while
anything.
the other
You know,
one
there's
calls
some in
through.
here that are really easy but save loads, and some that are really hard
I'll just-
that barely save you anything.
Whoa, you all right? Let me
Get your
help.
ass through before I drop it on your head.
Okay, I've got it.
Thanks.
Gosh, it does look evil actually.
You need a break
job.
after that, old man?
So they have a
Come
bit of
on.
flirting going on.
I'm not that old.
So I'm skipping forward here.
So
There's
you're
no.
telling
It doesn't
me
save you
Kidman had a
anything. It's just
plan
something to
take
do
out
with my
Mobius
fingers.
all this time?
Actually,
We're kind of waiting
it
to get
was
to the
your
end
wife's plan.
and
Wait,
enjoying
Myra?
the
So
dialogue.
that's why she's here.
But there's a part coming up now.
She's part of Mobius.
You just kind of.
This is
I
ridiculous.
guess there's two types of flings. There's
Gonna
ones
have
that
to
shoot
die.
you miles,
Don't
and then
blow
there's
your
ones
back
that kind
out.
of just teleport
isn't
you
the time,
in an
Doris.
instant forward a little bit.
You should be proud of your
This
wife.
is just a run of doing
She's
that
compelling.
quite a lot.
She recruited me for this plan.
You just pray for as much distance as
I
possible.
don't understand.
This is 100% field. There's
Why
no
would she
setups
join
to it.
them?
I just keep doing
She
it as I
found out
move
they had
forward
Lily,
and just hope
and
I
knew the
get
only
far.
way to take them down was
There's
from
no
the
real
inside. So she joined
science
up
to it.
and waited for the right
So
moment.
this is a bit of a
All
dice
these
roll for me
years.
on these bits.
That's where
I've had
she
it before
was.
where I've hit some particular speck on the
Damn
floor
it.
and just flown into Evil Within
This is
3.
a lot to
That's
take
how far
in.
I went forward.
I'm sure it is, but let's
Okay.
not lose focus.
Oh, I lose focus. Come on now.
We've got to get over this. Can you help me?
Yeah, of course.
Unreal strength coming up, by the way. This is unreal. I mean, that's impressive enough.
Hold on, I've got you.
Check this
I'm
out.
fine.
Doesn't think to remove that bolt out of her chest, by
Hey.
the way.
You just
It's
gonna
aesthetic
forget
at this
about me?
point.
Here we go. Yeah, yeah.
You
She
thought
kind
I'd
of
leave
likes
you
it.
hanging like that?
Here we go. Okay. I want to know what them
You're
gloves are
part of
made
the
out of because the
plan
grip is unreal. We're already in chapter 10, yeah. I'm afraid we are. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to fly
Right.
forward as much as possible.
Who else was involved in this
I'm
little...
going to give you a rating out of 10 off
Just
every
four of
one.
us.
How annoying is that?
Me, Kidman,
4,
Myra, and Theodore.
Theodore.
8.
Father
Okay, I'm not going to do
Theodore.
that. I've already
Father
changed my
Theodore.
mind.
I just call him Theodore Wallace.
So we're
Do you
just
know him?
praying on
He's
going
mad.
forward. I mean, the ones like
But
that
he
are
doesn't
just
want to save Lily.
unsuccessful.
He wants her for himself.
So it's
Tried
just
to talk me
WS
into
and
hunting
click.
down Myra, too.
No science to it.
He's the
But it's
one
kind
who
of based on
screwed everything
which
up.
angle you're looking at. It's just a weird feel thing. I
How was
can't.
this whole thing supposed to go?
That was amazing. I
Once
can't really
Myra and
describe
Theodore
it.
got Lily, Theodore and I were gonna get her out while Myra stayed behind to take care of Mobius. Kidman stayed outside and make sure we got out of stun safely. Shit, it was supposed to be easy.
Nothing's ever easy.
Come on now. This is definitely like squeaky bum time when you're on an actual run and it's like you just feel like you're just always going slow on this game. Also, in this next bit, she says it's hidden, but it sounds like tidden, and I just need clarification that I'm not the only one it sounds like she says tidden to, so it's coming up. I need to know.
I'm going to apologize to you early on my end.
So much for your
I
safe
can't hear the
house.
game.
I wouldn't put my safe
Oh,
house in
no.
the open
Here we
like
go.
that. It's hidden, but we've got to
It's
get
hidden.
past
It's
those things to get there. You
Definitely,
see that
that's
red
why
banner
my
behind that
split's called
building?
tidden.
Yeah,
The hatch to my
There we
safe
go.
house is
I'm
under
going to
it.
rely on chat
Okay.
to agree or
I'll take the
confirm.
lead.
Yeah.
Stay low and keep
I mean,
behind me.
if they disagree, then I
But listen,
also think they can't hear it because it's
Don't
undeniable
get near them
evidence.
while they're on fire.
So, light work of him. Get a cheeky double kill. Get the double over there. Single there. And Torres is so good, she thinks that we haven't fought anyone. Which kind of winds me up at this point. She has some Sun Tzu quote. And it just kind of eliminates all my hard work, to be honest, if she thinks we didn't do anything.
I think I need to.
Just waiting for it to follow me.
I might need to ask Richard if he can make a poll for us. If he can make it if it was hidden or tidden. Because that might be the question right there.
Come on, guys. You know what to do. You know what to do. Don't let me down. All these years playing this game, don't let me
As
down.
Sun Tzu said, the greatest
I see
victory
Lidden.
is that which requires no
Lidden? Okay.
Nice
It's
work,
not.
Sebastian.
I'm not sure if they got
Please don't
living.
add a third dimension to this. I had to thank you. So, it gets a bit of, you get hit in the feels a little bit on this part. Is it this part? I should know.
There's no place like home.
Not quite.
But a safe house runs
jumped
a
the gun.
close second. Listen, don't freak out at the amount of explosives I
How
got
weird
in
is it?
here.
Let me just
They're
crouch
as
while
safe as
I
can
don't
get.
walk in.
And
So,
until I
big
armor.
kick.
So
Spammage.
what are we gonna do about Theodore?
Very clear.
I don't
Very
know, he's hot.
clearly
She-
hidden, to be honest.
Yeah, she's hot and he'll if
I don't know.
Yeah.
How are you gonna?
O'Neal,
I don't know.
Great. She's probably.
You heard Sidden. Okay, half a mark for showing you working out. I'll give you that. Ridden. No, okay.
Sebastian?
Come on, guys. Let's keep it, you know.
Did you find Stefano?
I didn't.
Good.
She's good.
It's not Cheeto. It is, in fact, not the last game today.
I'll send some to me post.
I know. I trust. Okay. Time to get down to
But
business.
everyone's just typing
O'Neal,
Idden.
Sebastian, come in.
A lot of fun answers right there.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
I don't know
try
how
and
I'm
find
going to
him.
react next time I get to
You
that
should
bit.
stay
I'm
here
a
and
little
get your
bit worried about
explosives
what I
and
hear
weapons
now.
ready. I'll need
Those
your
are
help once I
mittens.
locate
That's my favorite one, is mittens.
Yeah, someone
Is there a way
said
into the marrow from
smittens.
Yeah,
It's like,
there's
okay.
a Mobius computer in that room. It'll take you to exit
Middle.
72.
Okay, come
I'll
on.
call you when I'm ready. Hang
Cool.
tough, Torres.
Got it.
So we're going to now venture
Good luck,
into...
Sebastian.
Actually, I take back what I said earlier. This is my favourite aesthetic
All right.
in the game. In a
Let's
little
hope
minute.
the marrow is still there.
It's really, really cool. But it's also very scary, so... Didn't. Okay. Feeling of regret. You started it. Yeah, I'm good. I did. I read what I saw, I get that. I guess you could say we're all kidding. Okay. So, nice little skip here. You just kind of... excuse me. There you go. You just fly across a really long hallway. That's all that does. But if I was decent at the game, you can get there before the map's load, and it just looks really weird. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Shit. Looks like Theodore's been here.
So,
Maybe that's why I couldn't contact O'Neal.
we're about to
Hoffman's safe house
do
is
a little...
nearby.
Another little
I
wall
should
clip
check
coming
up
up.
on her.
And we're doing some more of these little fling forwards, kind of praying, little RNG flings,
You here?
which are... they only save, you know, anywhere from like 1 to 5 seconds, but it really adds up. Okay. It really adds up. It's one of those things we think, it's not even worth it, and then all of a sudden
Left
you're
his
gold by
safe
10
house to
seconds.
go to
and
a
you think, hang on.
restricted area of the marrow? That doesn't sound like him.
So we're going, the bold man we were talking to earlier, O'Neal. I can't believe I've not introduced you guys. Chat, O'Neal, chat. He's been our friend, but he's a bit of a coward. He won't leave the safe room. He's too scared. So he kind of lets us know what's happening, gives us a communicator, and we go and do his stuff. But we've been trying to talk to him, and he's not replying. So we're thinking, he's left his safe room to go to a restricted area. Doesn't sound like him. Doesn't sound like somebody
Looks
to
like
do.
they had extra security
So
for this
we're gonna go and
place.
see what's up. See what he's up to. It's Kidman. It's really Jack, come on now.
All
Okay,
these tapes.
we're just gonna run. We're gonna do it the
What's this
old-fashioned way.
about?
So we see a little resonance there.
In this lab. Why did Liam want me to meet him here?
So one of the most embarrassing ways I've ever lost a run. I believe it was on for world record at the time as well. So we're going in a minute to collect a chip out of a guy's brain.
Pass through without
Very
one of those
dead
chips.
space.
Gotta be one
And-
around here somewhere.
I did the puzzle, got the chip, and ran off, and realised I didn't actually pick the chip up. I took it out of his head and then ran off. Got all the way down, and the little animation didn't go off, and I thought, what? And I went, oh yeah, I don't have the key to get through the door. And I wasn't very happy. Because on the non-glitch version, that's like
What do we have
an hour and
here?
a bit in. So, no. 128.
Okay, let's see what
Muscle memory
happens.
failed me. Here we go. Look away if you're squeamish. Keep it very warm with that one, yeah. Love it. Ouchie.
A little bit of an ouch, yeah. Just a wee bit.
Yeah, a little bit. The mere flesh wound.
We okay, I think. I think we'll be fine.
He's just sleeping through it.
I'll walk it off in the morning.
Thank God he's already dead. I gotta get out of this lab.
Okay, so we'll do a little wall clip here. It saves us running. You know how we just ran through all the stairs? It saves us having to do that again. Obviously, you can't wall clip upwards. So we're going to go around here. And we're going to switch to 30. Mate, I've got all of them first try today, and probably have never ever done that. So for as much as the other ones might be failing, I can only be happy. Because sometimes it just doesn't want to throw you through the wall. Alright. We've got this next guy, and you might recognise him.
Hope I can still catch up with
I alluded to it earlier. But the strategies for this boss fight on New Game Plus are very similar to Stefano's, to be honest. But this guy is really hard in the normal game. Really hard. Here he is. Do we recognise him, chat? Of course we do. It's O'Neill with a cool little nest on his head. So that's where O'Neill was. He was busy turning.
That's it. I'm done playing.
So what's happened is, the next boss in the game after Stefano, he's called Theodore, and he's basically this game's version of an Instagram influencer. He's influenced O'Neill to turn to the dark side. He's just a really good motivational speaker, and he's convinced O'Neill to kind of become corrupt. And it cost him a few magnum rounds to the face, which,
So
you know,
Theodore Wallace.
probably arguably not worth it, but
He's head of recruitment.
he's learned that now, and
But what's he doing in STEM?
he can only improve from it.
Why is he doing this?
So we're waiting
There's a
for
lot going on that you don't know about.
this. Is a bit of
Theodore
a
wants Lily
side
for
scroll. We're
himself.
just sorry,
saw
auto
what he
scroller.
did
We're
to
just
O'Neill.
waiting for her to finish
He'll
her
do
little
that to
battle.
everybody in here if he has to. He'll tear this place
I know,
apart. to
I know,
get his hands
exactly.
on her. I can't let that happen.
I just hate O'Neill. It's just one of those characters where he's a coward, and then he betrays you. It's like, okay, anything good or just all the worst things?
What is it?
Very good.
I'm not totally sure. But it
Thanks
looks
everyone
a
for
hell
being
of a
here.
lot
I'm
like
having a
the stable
blast.
field
You
of
guys
battle.
rock.
It's been a very
Honestly,
fun
thank
one so
you.
far.
O'Neill said to destroy it. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So we have a skip
And
coming
I know
up.
just how.
Not yet.
me.
And I've only ever got it.
Got it.
I would put money on the fact I've never got it 5 times, ever. I've run this game for 750 plus hours, so if we get it here, I've probably done
I'm
1,000
almost ready
attempts.
over here. Let me know
And
when you're good to go.
I think it's a combination of
Is that
Like, and it's
just... Okay, so
I'm going to check
problem
out the equipment in the other room.
sometimes with these glitches is
Good luck, you two.
there's no way of learning it other than trying it. You know, there's no... You've just got to look at someone doing it and try and do it. But it's hard. It's so specific, it's really hard.
1.
Gate skip, exactly, and I hope it is gate skip and not gate headbang and then do it the normal way. We're on for world record, yeah.
Torres? Where'd
To be
you...
honest, world record, I recommend you guys watching it. It's pretty mental. When it all goes right, it's great. So this is the place I was saying. I think this is my favourite looking place. It's effectively just ankle deep blood everywhere. Trees, rubble, scary zombies that want to hug.
You're here.
Get the opposite. So we're gonna use our bolt to buy some time. We're in chapter 12. So we're getting through this. We're getting through this fast. The first bit of the game is mental how fast it is. You kind of 10 minutes in, you're in chapter 7. It's crazy. So smoke bolt, and we'll turn this around for cinematic effect. So that's a big boomer. I don't know what they're actually called. I actually don't know what they're called. But he's trying to get me, but then he gets hit with the smoke and he thinks, hang on a minute, where am I? What's going on? And then I go, see in a bit. Run through here. It's very cinematic. A second. We wave goodbye. Sorry guys, I'm on a speed run. I would. And we see Lily's door. And we see Lily's doll. And we can't skip this one, unfortunately. Although I spent many hours trying to go in sideways or crouch in, and there's just I can't find a way to skip this. Certain things are too integral to progress in this game, unfortunately. They do just want to hug me, but it's very warm in the UK. I'm trying to social distance.
He's recording.
No.
That one's name is
isn't
Greg.
right.
Sorry, Greg. Oh, to be fair, I didn't kill Greg. I just gave him a bit of smoke. So, this shouldn't be the first time you see these enemies, but I believe in this route it is, because I skipped so much of the game. But these are called spawns. And they're little kind of, they're like lickers, I guess. Just without the tongue. They don't do much licking, they're more like biters. But they're really cool enemies. Again, they're an absolute nightmare on the normal game, or if you don't know how to deal with them. Oh, we saw them in the cabin, ignore me. I'm not very good at this game, this is my first time. So, there's some flings coming up down here, but we can't do it for the first half of these stairs. But there's anywhere from 5 to 25 seconds saved here, I think, just depending on how fortunate you get with this one. It can fling you all the way to the end of this little animation, this little like sequence, sorry. I'll let you know. That was really good. See if we can get another one. Yeah, that was almost as good as you can get. See how I kind of got stunned there? You can skip this last bit and it just flings you straight into Lily. But there's no real, there's no setup for it. You just kind of click and pray. Wait a minute.
Come on, man. I'll get you out of here.
Yes, I do. Spend all casual time with these zombies. We have a mutual understanding. They go, Stevie Blue! And then the other one goes, he's speedrunning. And he goes, okay, in a bit. See you after the reset skip. Or church skip. So, there's Kidman doing her damnness to save me and herself. Rule 101, by the way, when you've got an assault rifle, don't throw it at them. But she broke that. She broke that. Theodore boss fight, exactly. Yeah. No.
You gotta give that son of a bitch some payback.
Sebastian?
So we're in a bit
What's
of a
wrong? Are you all
knocked
right?
out state, I
You've
guess,
been
with
working too
dreaming
hard.
this bit.
It's making you delirious.
Fade into Skyrim intro.
Myra?
Oh.
Hey, you're awake.
Okay, so the only real significant strategy here is crouching again. Fun fact, there's only one time you can sprint in this house for some reason. But again, no running in the house. But I guess when you put down for the mortgage, I would imagine that Sebastian definitely puts down for this mortgage. He must have got a pretty decent payout after Evil Then 1. That's all I'm saying. So, 2 ways to go here. I think they're both about the same.
Lily?
There's Lily, or is it? Just can go left or right. You know what? You express yourself when you're doing this run. You choose. Be free. Be you. If you want to go right, don't let anyone stop you.
That letter.
Unless it's slower, and then go left.
Myra's last communication.
Cool. We won't hear much
with
about
her files.
a letter, but we'll hear the
Sounded
important
so crazy
bit.
at the
Here we go.
time.
What's she got to say?
I should have believed her.
Here we go.
My dear.
My dear. Okay,
She's right.
cool. I believe her. So if you look at the
She's
little
always
thing
been
on my
right.
butt, the little
Theo
communicator,
uses
watch it
my
do a
own
flipperoo.
guilt against
And
me.
now.
But guilt for what?
Fun little thing to get
It's
me through
their
this bit.
fault, not mine.
Don't know why it does that.
They took everything from me.
Just does
I
a
didn't start
180, I
any
don't
of
know
this.
why.
But I'm gonna finish it. And God help anybody that stands
Gets
in my
paid
way.
a lot, yeah.
Huh.
Wake up, Sebastian!
So we now wake up, realise we're not there. I don't know how we fell asleep like that. Have you ever tried to fall asleep, sat up against the wall like that?
What?
Not a chance. Now, one of the most frustrating cutscenes, I think.
What happened?
But I'll let you enjoy it and then I'll tell you why.
She brought you here. I'm sorry, Sebastian. I tried to save her, but
No. I shot her.
the bullet wound was superficial. She died from injuries sustained in a battle with those things.
Damn it. She didn't have to die like that. She was a good soldier. She just wanted to save Lily. And now she's dead. It's all my fault. Again.
It's not your fault. Don't let him do this to you.
You're right. That goddamn son of a bitch. This is what he wants. Trying to make me feel guilty. But he's the one who did this. Not me. He's the guilty one.
Literally shoots his teammate.
Okay.
That's the problem.
And goes, you're right, I'm not guilty.
Great.
Not me.
I'll go.
Okay.
But you shot. No, it's Theodore. Theodore did it. No, just watched it. Well, I say that, I skipped it, but he did it quite a lot. I don't think that argument would fly in court, but you know, what do I know? I'm not a judge, but okay. So, Firewalk Fling coming up. I love getting this one decent, but it's quite inconsistent. But the risk is pretty low. You know, you just don't get a good one. It's not like you have to reload 10 minutes back. The premise is the same as most of the other ones. We're kind of flying off a piece of terrain and kind of bouncing off some edges of the map to kind of get us around and just save us a big run.
Shit.
There we go, that's his stronghold. Quite scary. It is on fire though, so maybe give it a minute. So, make sure we're on display base half, or else we would just fly out the map. If we did any of these ones on disabled, I would just fly out the map instantly. You know, you can't contain these frames. So, stand there, aim there, and please work, because I love it. You know what? This is perfect. That's... okay. That was perfect. I haven't done that well in months.
Huh.
Thank you. I'll tell you that. I landed exactly where I needed to go. It's just one of the things that I wish everyone could just like come and sit here and have a go. It's so weird, but it's so satisfying. It's the tiniest little detail being wrong, and you go.
Well,
it can be the difference from landing there and not even moving. So then you start getting in your own head, and you're like, oh, I was going too early, and you end up just, you know, it's just so weird. You overthink it so much because every little tiny detail matters. That was awesome, though.
Does your PB get that first try?
Yes.
Hey.
The thing is, the world record is so fast. They're just resets if you don't get them. It's insane.
It's wild.
There's not much left. Yeah, I would love a Tasser out there to get this. I'm sure it'd be unreal how fast you could get this if every single little one went as well as it could go. Oh man. Yeah. It's always fun. I love watching new runners try this category because just the look on their face when they try it like 10 times and they're like, what? Why isn't it working? And I'm like, I know. It's hard. It's really hard. Really fun though. So we abuse auto aim here, mainly because I'm too kind of unprepared to remember where they all spawn. So I just keep kind of aiming, and then when one spawns, it kind of locks on them for me. Very cheap way of doing it, but you know. How it be sometimes, right? There we go.
Another one. Watch your back, Hoffman.
They do blend in quite well.
Good thing.
Another one over
They're
here.
everywhere.
The reason I'm not shooting instantly is because they have like a immunity phase. You can't be damaged for a while, so it's until they kind of finish their spawning animation. I don't know how. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for that scene. The people who task are just otherworldly. I don't. Fair play to all of them. Also, the auto splitter we use for this game, I might as well take this chance. The auto splitter we use for the game doesn't work very well, and every time you take damage in this game, the timer pauses for 3 seconds. If anyone out there has any experience in it and would like to kind of help out, that would be awesome. I'll definitely make it worth your while, because as a moderator of the speedruns, I have to watch every single speedrun and calculate how much time the timer, because your time's always much quicker than it is because the timer's pausing.
Right.
But we have to do it, and it has to be legal. So I just have to sit there and go, okay, that was like 2.5 seconds. That was 4. And I've just had a baby. Well, I didn't have a baby, but I'm a new father as of 4 months ago, and it's kind of I'm kind of tight for time to sit through. Do you know what I mean?
Big congrats to that, but yeah, that would be helpful.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just, I don't know if people like, some people like these little projects and stuff. That'd be absolutely fantastic, but Cabral, it's amazing. Definitely up there, my favourite games of all time. It's definitely got my fondest memories. I've started my my Twitch channel and grew it based around this game, and it's people I've met are unreal. Just great experiences. It's just very, very cool. So almost at the end of this little walk, another terrifying part on the high difficulties. Okay. Just looking at the screen is making me hotter, I think. Is that a thing? I feel much warmer.
I definitely want to say, as a side note, for anyone who is currently dealing with a heat wave, definitely make sure you're staying cool out there.
Skin is burning.
Agreed.
It's probably not as bad as what we're seeing right now, but
feels like it.
Yeah.
Hoffman, what's happening?
It's failing again.
Oh, okay.
Hurry up, it's getting hot here.
Cool, and the final guy, 21. Boom. That's that part. Another little part coming up now where we are praying to see how far we get forward, and then it's the gate skip, and I hope I get to show you it. It's nothing visually amazing, other than the fact that it's a very rare thing to see. It's very hard to do. So this is just, we're trying to see how far we can get forward. We're not going well. Oh, it's probably because of that. There you go. See the difference? That I just changed it to uncapped frames.
But he's not gonna
unbelievable.
stop me.
Cool. So we kind of ascend this little stronghold. By little, it's probably not accurate. We ascend this stronghold now, looking for Theodore. Hoping we can find him, or else it's a dead run. It's such a cool. This might be my favourite place. I don't know.
Yeah, but this time it's different. You're not getting away.
So they're talking to each other somehow. Because STEM, I guess.
You will never get there. Just like the last time you wanted to save
Cool. This is the Bowser staircase.
You're not gonna get to me.
So we just save our stamina around that part. So, gate skip coming up. Principle of the gate skip is the same as they have been before. You just have to get over it. However, it's, in my opinion, the most precise one in the game. Maybe there's something I just don't get about it. I cannot seem to do it. Other runners like Rampancy, it just doesn't seem to phase it. I don't know what it is. It's my boogeyman skip. I can't do it. So we'll see. Wait for the autosave, load it. It saves a tiny little cutscene. Probably saving you about 5 seconds there. And so we kill you. Kill you. He got away with that. Saved by the railing. So here we go. So we're gonna aim there, forward a slight touch. I'll probably give it, I'll say, maybe 10 tries. Okay, that's it. Oh my lord. So, we just saved about a minute. Maybe less. I get it so rarely, I don't even know. No, we'd have had to run through the whole outside of that room, pull a lever, watch a cutscene, and run back through. I can't believe that.
Huh. So you bounce off the ceiling and land right on the other side of the gate.
The problem is, if you bounce slightly to the left, I almost had it then. You fall to the left of the gate and you're kind of stuck in a zone that's useless. You can't use that to get to the right place. You're stuck in like this abyss that you can't move. So you just have to reload anyway. Oh man, that's insane. I couldn't have asked.
Good stuff.
Yeah. It's wicked. So, when I was just ascending through, this is definitely bringing back Evil Within 1 vibes, these bits. Which is never bad vibes to bring back, if you ask me. What a great series these games are.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, do a little ping ping. There we go. Take this guy out. Okay, well not. I mean, that was just for the swag. I didn't actually need to kill him. Well, I missed him anyway, so not much swag on my end. Some more green gas. Do that. Another little wall clip coming up. One of these sorts of clips where if you don't get it after a certain time, the window of opportunity goes. You have about 5 to 10 seconds to get it. If you don't get it, it's fine. You just don't save that time because the gate opens anyway that you're trying to skip through. I'm trying to climb through this gate. If I don't do it quick enough, the gate just naturally opens and you run through. So you just miss a little time. There's no risk to it. So what we want to do, some spawns come up. Oh, some spawns spawn. I'll pop to them for the guys up there. Bingo. Bango. To 30. Okay, so you saw a little bit of it not working then. You can end up just bobbing around like that, but we got it. And we got it pretty much. If you've got a couple of seconds to not get it, because you just get stuck on that thing anyway. And we got it pretty much as quick as we could, so that's cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Now, for any fans of Evil Within 1 that might not have seen this game, this part is pretty cool. I love it. I mean, there's not. He's probably used 10 words there, and there's not many worse ones you could use. I will find your wife, which sounds like, oh, thank you, and murder her in front of your daughter. It's like, oh, you ruined it. We were so close to having an understanding then, and he just flipped it on me, and I'm gonna have to go and kill him now, unfortunately. Fun fact: the little bit earlier where I flung into the ceiling, and I was very hyped about getting it. You can fling to this bit from that bit. For some reason, this part of the map's loaded. However, I've not been able to find a way of skipping to this part of the game. But that would save an unbelievable amount of time. I just don't think the game is loaded certain. I don't think the sequence is loaded. But this bit is a complete throwback to the Evil Within 1, and I will never forget the feeling I had when I first did it. And I was with my now wife, and I was going, look, it's like the first game with the guy. What? And she's like, great. And I'm like, no, seriously, it's the guy from the first game that chases you through. And she's like, okay, happy for you.
Shit.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, cool. Ouchie. Oh. The cheese looks at the lift and goes, not this time. It would be actually a really nice time save if there was a chance he'd go, yeah, this time, and walk through it. Imagine that. Imagine you're on a world record run and you're like, please don't say not this time, and he says it, and then you have to fight this guy.
Do you think this will stop me?
Nice jeans. Can we just get a shout out for those jeans? Pretty decent. There we go. Damage. There we go. Oh, the turntables.
That knife is really good at surviving a chainsaw.
This wasn't bad, was it? Where did he get that one from? I should have asked him before.
He got it from you.
Oh yeah, true. And I got it from Stefano. Thanks, Stefano. Not all bad. Here we go. We remember these guys. Oh, that bit hurts my head when I see it. Here we go. That's such an iconic thing in this game when it starts flickering and get the like TV static noise. Why is it a TV static? His head's a safe, not a TV. Oh, anyway, that's hardly relevant at this point. So, make light work of these. So, there is actually a funny category mix of these two where it's new game any percent. And it's actually crazy because you can skip a lot of the game, but to a certain point you just get to these ending fights and don't have any resources. It's very weird. And I've just genuinely found a new strategy for that bit. I've just accidentally found a time save. So I shot... That's insane. I didn't even think of that. So I shot an electrobot across that passage to make a tripwire, and I've just ran into it and it's triggered and killed the guy. Wow, okay, well that's the new strategy. Didn't mean to do it. And that kind of sums up how half of this run happened. You do a lot of things you don't mean to do. And this is Laura. And that was Laura. So anyone that doesn't like New Game Plus bosses, do any percent and then pick a difficulty. Any percent classic's a fun one, because yes, you can skip 7 chapters, but you'll get to the 8th chapter and have no ammo or no guns. So it's weird. I think my strat for that was I do chapter 3 normally, even though I can skip it all. I have to do it and get all the ammo and get all the guns, and then I start skipping loads so I can get to the end with all the stuff. It's very interesting.
Oh God.
So this is a little time save you can do on any difficulty. And I missed the boat on this apparently. I think everyone knew about this apart from me, but it's kind of specific. Go up here. I might not get it. It's kind of janky. Oh, no way. Did we get it? Yeah. Sweet. So that was just it. Nothing. I don't think there's any sort of glitch happening there. It's just you're not supposed to really be able to get there. And I just climbed over and saved myself a little run. Probably about 10-15 seconds.
Myra! Shit.
That's good.
What is she trying to do?
Now, Myra, my wife, in-game, not IRL. Land myself in some heat. I am going to chase her, and she's doing the thing that all game people do, and they don't turn around when you shout their name, which I couldn't do if I wanted to in real life. I hear my name and I turn around. Can't help it. So, we get... these have a really weird name. I don't know what they're called. It's something like the Japanese word for white or something. It's a really weird name, but they're cool. I like them. So this is just a bit of target practice at this point. And here we go.
I gotta get rid of these things.
Can I get it?
Maybe then I can get to
Bang, bang. That's what I got here. Alright. Sign me up, any Counter-Strike teams out there. Hit me up. Because I apparently can't do most of these flings, so maybe I can play Counter-Strike. Same thing again in this next part, and then we come to probably one of the coolest looking monsters in the game, in my opinion. Cool idea. Very weird, but cool. Similar to the Amalgam in Evil Within 1, if you know that. The kind of dog, big beast thing. It's like kind of this game's version of that. But we've got to get through a few of these first. And then we get to a skip. I've said this a lot at this point. I really hope we can get it. It would be so cool. It's called the Limbo Fling. I say it's called that as if you go in the game files and it's like Limbo Fling. So, there's a run that probably takes a minute and a half, I would guess. I've never timed it. Like a really long kind of cinematic, you know, aesthetically pleasing, fun, story-driven bit, and you can just fly across the whole bit. However, the risk for flying too far is up there. You know, if you don't land right, you're out the map, or you're not going anywhere, and it's just... This is the last thing of difficulty you'll do in the run, so your nerves, your hands like this at this point, if you're on for a PB or a record. and you just think you just get this skip, and it's one of the harder ones. It's really a bit of a sick joke to be I didn't mean to collect the gel. Well, you get 30,000 gel from him if you need it, which we don't do anything with gel in any of the speedruns, which is bizarre actually. It's not relevant in any category. So
Can't let her take
here we go.
Lily.
So the limbo fling. We go down to display-based half, and this tree is our ticket to victory. We're gonna land up there perfectly first try, not a problem. So this, genuinely, this fling can turn a pretty average run into a PB or vice versa. Now, please. You've been nice to me so far. Let's get this.
She must be there.
Let's get this.
I
Here we
can't
go.
stop now.
This tree, the tree of destiny. All roads lead to this, chat. Nope. I'll just run it from here. I'll take that, I think. Okay, so the idea being you want to get as close to that house as possible. I would love to say I'll keep trying it till we get it, but I could be here till next week without getting a nice one. It's so hard. But a task would obviously land your arm. You could land it. I've landed in the house. I've landed up there, up, you know. Some of these you can actually run on. It's very weird that they've made it have actual collision. Very strange, but so we shouldn't be where we are. There's invisible walls, but we fell outside it. And if we come back in a particular point, which I believe is like here, we can trigger the. Is it? No, it's here. Sorry, I was a bit far over. Now, you might not recognise her, but this is my wife, Myra. Myra, chat. Hello. Introduce yourself, mate. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Easy. So the big reveal is the mom knew all along that Mobius had taken the door and staged the death, and we didn't believe her, because why would you? Because there was news articles and everything saying no, she burnt to death. So she's going into STEM to personally end this all. So Myra's trying to go and become the core so that she can end STEM for good. We'll freeze these. Now we're going to try and get this nice little time save. I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but hopefully they'll trigger in the next part and save me a little bit, about a second or two. Just a pretty cool thing. How's my shooting? Pretty poor. I think after the first shot that was dead anyway, but it's one of those things where it's on like a timer, it has to finish its animation before it dies. Did we get the little skip? No. So if you put the explosive bolts out at the right point, it triggers on the frame that becomes killable and kills it instantly. So all that shooting time there would have saved that. But it's neither here nor there. Now, hopefully we can kill this in one cycle. If we don't kill this quick enough now, it does this 25-30 second loop. It's very annoying. We didn't get it. Don't make me go into slow-mo, evil then. Don't make me use slow-mo, which is practically cheating in my eyes. He says using auto-aim. There we go. You got to be quick enough, and I wasn't. Hey Mario, want to smoke? That's for making me do the dishes! Sorry. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Cool. Now we get to the final little run. Now, when I say the controls and the aiming is awful in this bit, you would think what I mean. Double it, double it again, and then add a little tiny bit, because it's impossible to aim. So on casual, auto aim works. It's the main reason we turn auto aim on in the run, because you could probably save 20-30 seconds here, because when this bit goes wrong, it goes really wrong.
Almost there.
And I'm hoping. Thanks, Mom. Gentleman, wicked shot. You're just saying that.
Please be safe, Lily.
Okay, so here we go.
Not happening.
That's why we put it on auto aim. I wish I could show you that without auto aim. It is. I would still be on the second guy now. Because you can aim on them, but the bullet doesn't go there. It's just so weird. I don't really understand. It's not like the whole game aims. It's just this one bit aims really badly. It's so weird. Okay, same thing again. This is the part where you can run indoors, by the way. Because Myra's not around to give all these rules about. I'm ready to get out. And that is the Evil Within 2. Now we just got to run it home, our victory lap. Feels good here to be on a PB when you know you're going to PB. Just a nice little wave to the crowd on the way out.
Almost
there.
Yeah.
That being said, while we're approaching the ending of the run, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Just to absolutely anyone that's ever watched me, said anything nice, donated bits, the GDQ. Thank you for giving me this chance, because I had my heart ripped out of my chest when I didn't get to run this, so it's absolutely amazing. Thank you. It's basically anyone that speedruns #1 goal, isn't it, really? So, Mama, we made it. Thank you very much. I just so lucky. Thank you. Honestly, thank you.
Alright.
Now we run it down.
It's definitely one of the runs I was really interested in seeing. So when I saw it drop in the schedule, I was really concerned. I was worried. So I'm happy they were able to do it here.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. It's a great game. Anyone that's on the fence, as I almost was then, about running it, just message me. I can be completely honest. It's not all, it's not all daisies, but I can explain to you what it would be like and kind of describe to you the experience, and you can see if it's for you. The community is always after more people. Very friendly, very helpful, all that good stuff. So come and join. It's very fun. So time's going to end when we get to that big white light. So I will be about 5 seconds. As soon as we lose control. Here we go. And time. Awesome.
All right.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, everyone.
Let's see. You got about a 1:30:24 or so.
I'll take that. I will take that. It's quite nice.
Pretty good. It's pretty good stuff, I'd say.
Thank you very much.
Great run. I think everyone loved it. It's always fun stuff.
Thank you.
We're watching the ending here. Really quick. If anyone wanted to check you out on anything like Twitch, Twitter, the like, where can they find you?
So you can find my Twitter at @StevieBlue_. My Twitch is the same, twitch.tv/StevieBlue_. Thank you. You'll find all the Discords and all that sort of fun, YouTube and all that around there.
Yeah.
That run, can I dedicate that run to my lovely wife, my mother, and my newborn baby, please? Thank you. They're the loves of my life. I love them all. You guys are a very close second.
You thought that I was just flying
it was a
by
very
the
good
seat
run.
of my pants here?
Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully see you again soon.
I took my chip out 3
Alright,
days
for right now we've watched the ending. Not sure how long the ending is.
Good 3, 4, 5 minutes. I don't know. I remember I've done this run before and I skipped these cutscenes and chat went ballistic at me, so I'm too nervous to skip it.
I'm just gonna say you went 10 minutes under your estimate, so.
Okay.
we go watch a bit of the ending.
So, just to fill you in, Kidman that was working with Mobius, they chip people's heads to kind of mind control them. She took a chip out 3 days ago. Stick it to the man. So we were all on this big plot story to kind of get her out. So they're all helping us from the outside. If Kidman's on the outside, he's helping us get out. And that's Lily. Actually Lily. We've seen her about 10 times at this point, but that's actually her.
Hey.
Yeah, so. Baby home. Thank you, Robert. You're the man. Thank you, Amateur Boss. What an experience. I'm just gonna say thank you again. I really am. Yeah. I'm a lucky man. Thank you.
I don't want to say one of the enjoyments of the show is being able to spotlight a lot of cool horror games. So
yeah, it's one of those games so obviously always in the shadow of the Resident Evil series, I think.
I love you both.
But it's got its it holds its own. It definitely does.
Now you'll be safe.
Here come the tears. I'm not crying. You're crying. So Myra died to get everyone out.
You did it, Myra. I knew you would.
She's a chip off the old block. That's them shut down. Forget how good this cutscene is. I'll just skip it to find out what time we got.
Take it easy, Sebastian. You're safe now.
Lily. Where's Lily?
I need your help getting her out. Stand over there.
Okay, I think this cutscene is fairly long. Skip this one. Oh, that was the last one. Was it? There we go. That's basically them chilling. They got out. She turned the switch. Okay. I'm overstaying my welcome, alright?
All good.
Thank you. Been a pleasure. It really has. There they are. One happy family, kind of, sort of. And there's Myra's doll. Symbolic.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right. I want to
Good
say
luck to all
thank you
the
again.
future runners.
Thank you again, Steve, for coming on to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Before I head on off to a little break here, do you have anything else you'd like to add in?
No, thank you. I'm just very lucky, very appreciative, and you guys all rock. Enjoy the show. I'll be in chat.
All right. Well, really quick, everyone, we're going to cut to a quick wellness break. This is going to be the time you stand up, touch your toes, stretch your legs, do what you need, grab water. We will be right back really quick with the next game on our list. Before we go, I just want to read a couple things really quick. For one, for the month of July, GDQ will be donating its portion of Twitch subscriber and bit revenue, minus taxes, to Doctors Without Borders. This includes gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, channel subs, anything really that's given to the Games Done Quick channel. We end the event at $2.9 million raised. Let's see if we can get to $3 million for that. As well, Frame Fatales is going to be August 15th to the 21st. If you would like to know more about that, go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. We'll be right back. All right, we're back from that amazing run. I really like the Evil Within 2. I like the Evil Within 1 we've had on the show previously, and I enjoy the Evil Within 2. I'm very happy that we're able to showcase that run. Stevie did a great job, and I knew, like, once... I was kind of confused when I didn't see it on the main GDQ schedule, so this is definitely one of the runs that I wanted to absolutely showcase on the show. And I feel very good about that after watching that first fling. They're just flying all over the map. But luckily, we have a lot more spooky fun tonight as we kind of continue through a bunch of games that were on possible slate for GDQ. The next one we'll be doing is actually, I think, just a classic in general. I know a lot about this run because of the reputation it has, and we're going to have some great stuff with it coming up. We'll have a great run and great runner. Up next is going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night with Dragon Blitz. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I am Dragon Blitz. This is going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the Alucard All Bosses category speedrun. And yeah, we'll talk about the run as we get into it. There's a lot to go over, just executionally, and like all the different glitches and stuff we're going to be going through. This game is quite broken. There's a lot I need to explain, so I'm going to be talking very fast, but I'll try and keep it as concise as I can. But with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. I'll give you guys a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, at the very beginning of the game, I'm actually going to be playing as the alternate character, Richter, instead of Alucard. This is the prologue sequence. The important thing to note about the prologue sequence is everything that I'm doing here is actually important for setting up my stats and my equipment at the end of the prologue sequence when I start playing as Alucard. 5, 6. And the important thing to note about damaging Dracula here is I'm going to be using Hydrostorm, which is an item crash ability from using the holy water. I'm also going to be throwing the holy water on the ground after using the Hydrostorm. It gives you a random chance to do extra damage. You can see Dracula's health bar just completely melted there because of the extra damage. And then I want to end with 0 hearts. That's also important for an extra item I'm going to get. But yeah, that's the prologue sequence done very, very quickly. And we are basically immediately going into our first glitch of the run. At the start of the game, you start with very powerful equipment. This equipment is meant to be taken away from you in a cutscene with the Grim Reaper, aka Death. And we're going to be doing a glitch known as the Death Skip. The specific glitch we're going to be doing is called a reverse shift line. And essentially what that means is we are going to be manipulating where Alucard gets sent after a screen transition by pausing the screen at a specific point on the screen. And I just have to be very careful in this room, randomly spawning zombies. Okay, made it through there. And yeah, so one of the items I even got from the prologue sequence is known as the Neutron Bomb. I'm going to be using that to get my level up off this last warg in the room. And that's going to pause the screen and activate the reverse shift line. So I'm going to use the map to buffer the inputs to make it a tiny bit easier. Let me see if I can get it. That should be it. There we go. And just like that, the screen flashed there for a second. That was the room where Death would have taken away my equipment, and I completely skipped it, keeping all this overpowered equipment, and we can move on with the rest of the run. Some of you may be familiar with a more popular version of the Death Skip, where you use like a large damage boost to pass through that room, and that just turns out to be slower in basically every speedrun category, so we use this version instead.
Is this version more of a recent development, or is it kind of like a general thing?
Of around like 2013, 2014, Sockfolder himself actually was the one that discovered the reverse shift line glitch, and we've been using it basically ever since. Ever since I've been speedrunning the game, I've been using that version of Death Skip. So, one of the main forms of movement you're going to be seeing me do here is backdash canceling, in this case known as shield dashing. I'm essentially pressing the backdash button and then canceling it with the shield over and over and over again. There's a common misconception that you need to like mash the buttons as fast as possible to go like optimally fast in this game. A human can never really like do optimal mashing, so it's much more important to like keep a steady rhythm and focus more on like platforming, cutting your jump short, and like doing combat more efficiently. And speaking of efficient combat, this is gonna be our first boss fight of the game. And as you're gonna see, yeah, I'm a little overpowered. Boss fights in this game are very trivial in general, and in this category in particular as well. And since we're going to be fighting all the bosses, the actual meat of this category is much more about the movement in between the bosses. They're more of just like checkpoints along the way. But the actual boss fights themselves are not going to be any trouble really at all. But yeah, I guess to explain a little bit about like the main goal of this run outside of beating all the bosses. At the very beginning, shield dashing is fast, but would be even faster is if we had the Bat Relic. The Bat Relic, if you know anything about this game, gives you the ability to transform into the Bat, and it has a specific spell attached to it known as the Wing Smash, and it goes very, very fast. So we are going to try and go as fast as we can to get the Bat Relic. And in order to do so, I'm going to have you look in the top left-hand corner of your screen as I enter this next room. This is the clock room. I need to come back here later, and that statue that just moved in the top left-hand corner, it actually moves in and out of your way in a minute cycle. So every other minute, it's either in your way or out of your way. So in the first 8 minutes of the game, essentially, we are going to collect all of the different relics and movement items that we can before having to come back there. And as long as we get there in under 8 minutes, we're actually not losing any time because it is stuck on a global cycle. blocking our path until the 8-minute mark. So, I mean, it's nice to go fast here, but essentially there is a decent amount of wiggle room for mistakes to happen, and I'm still technically on world record pace at this point going forward. So it's a very chill section at the very beginning of the run. But moving forward, the thing that we do need is going to be the Wolf Relic, specifically because we're going to use it to do an unintended means of gaining height. Because the main reason we can't get past that statue is because our singular jump isn't high enough to actually reach the platform up there. So we're going to get the Wolf Transformation, and the Wolf Transformation is unique in a way because it allows for two different kinds of like mechanic abuses, which is both the slope jump mechanic and having an aerial dive kick unintendedly. So normally you're supposed to have like, real quick to cut myself off here, this next boss fight isn't much of a boss fight. We're going to be using the stopwatch sub-weapon that I have to kill this boss. It's one of the few bosses that's actually affected by the stopwatch sub-weapon. So as you can see here, he's just going to stand still and let me kill him. This is a boss fight that I feel like a lot of people growing up might have had a lot of trouble with because he's really cheap. He reads your inputs and just like hits you before you hit him, all that fun stuff. Just cheap AI. But yeah, using the stopwatch, he's very easy to deal with. And yeah, our next objective is going to be getting that Wolf Relic. It allows us to do slope jumps, which I'll show off very, very quickly after grabbing it, as well as giving us the ability to dive kick in the air by untransforming in the air as the wolf. The game doesn't intend for you to be able to dive kick that way, but it just kind of works out that you get a dive kick that way. And we can use that dive kick to gain extra height off by dive kicking off of enemies. Real quick, I'm just going to kill this guy because I don't really like him. He's a jerk. And I'm going to go for this frame perfect floor clip. Let me see if I get it. I was like 1 frame off. It saves like 2 seconds, but again, none of this time save really matters all that much. It's more for swag, if anything. And there's that Wolf Relic that we just got. We just need to press a switch to get past the elevator to grab it. And now I'm going to be showing off that slope jump ability. So I'm going to jump off this slope with some momentum, and it's going to give me extra height to get up here to grab this garnet. This garnet's going to be used later for a glitch in the shop. But yeah, it's an important thing to grab now. And now we're going back to that clock room that I talked about earlier with the Wolf Relic in hand, and we are going to be using that to get past the statue that blocks our path. Interesting thing to note about the wolf, outside of getting the dive kick and using the slope mechanics, you could also use the wolf for just like general movement. Like right here, it actually turns out to be faster to transform into the wolf and use the wolf's dash to move through this area. There's very situational areas where it just tends to be a tiny bit faster because the wolf maintains this fast speed even through the air, where Alucard can't shield dash in the air, you can only do it on the ground. So, and they move about the same speed between shield dashing and running as the wolf. The only issue is if you get hit as the wolf, you get taken out of this, and just like that, yep. So you want to do that section without getting hit, but if you get hit here, it's not that big of a deal. You just go the rest of the way as Alucard. And yeah, now here comes back to the clock room, and as you can see, this statue's blocking my path, and I can't really do anything about it, so we're just kind of sitting here chilling, and just like that, we're on world record pace. Let's go.
So there's really like just a certain amount of time you can really save kind of going into this. So even if you're like taking some damage early on, like as long as you make it here before it moves, you're fine.
Basically, yeah. So almost every single run that makes it past the death skip, you're on world record pace.
That's
and just
awesome.
Like that. Yep. We're going to be dive kicking off that candle, and this is where the real time save and time loss can begin. Right away, we're going to be going through the Aurochs' quarters into the Coliseum. Just got to do some tight platforming to avoid these enemies. It's a little bit faster to avoid them than to try and defeat them. And gonna avoid one more enemy. He can give you some trouble if you're not quick enough through that room, and onto the Coliseum. The Coliseum is an important place to visit because it gives you the Mist Relic, and the Mist Relic is required to get the Bat Relic later in the library. There's also a library card in this area that will teleport you instantly to the library, which is very convenient. And the last most important thing, one of the most important things for this run, is that there is the item known as the Shield Rod in the Coliseum as well. And that is basically like one of the most overpowered weapons in this game, in combination with the Alucard Shield, which we got from the very, very start of the game. And this boss fight's very unique because these bosses are going to be standing still, but I'm not actually using the stopwatch ability. They don't get affected by the stopwatch. They're actually waiting for the cutscene to finish playing out, except I actually skipped that cutscene, and the developers never like programmed what to do if the player skips the cutscene. So they're waiting for the cutscene to finish, but the cutscene never actually like finished in the proper way. So they just stand still, and you can just hit them until they die. And now that we've grabbed the Mist Relic, we're going to be grabbing that shield rod that I talked about earlier. Real quick, clearing the room with the Soul Seal. I'm going to be damage boosting off of a gunman here, and that's going to land me right on top of the shield rod. Library card out of there, and there we go. And immediately after all this fun stuff, we have another trick. This run is just full of different glitches and tricks. I'm going to be using a slope jump with the wolf in combination with a dive kick to get some extra height onto a ledge here. Let me see if I can do it. Very tricky. Ooh, bad RNG from the book, but I just barely made it onto that ledge. Oh my goodness, that is very, very tight.
Great job.
The books that fall out of that shelf there, they're a little bit random, the exact pattern that they give you. And if they give you an absolutely abysmal pattern, you can just like dive kick off of them, but also take damage on the same frame, and it's really annoying. And the reason we got the fairy card is because I'm going to be setting that fairy card up for a glitch here. Summon the fairy. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, very fast fairy there. There we go. We got it. And essentially what this is allowing me to do is to sell that garnet that I picked up earlier to this to the shopkeeper here while equipping it, which underflows it from 0 to 255. I'm going to be selling as many as I need to buy some of the most overpowered equipment in the game. I'm going to be buying this mana prism. And most importantly, the duplicator. And I'm also going to be using the shield rod at this point, applying the shield rod to my Alucard shield, and then re-equipping this mana prism. And from there, the mana prism gives me a refill of my mana basically whenever I use it, whenever I want. And that's important because mana is very important for going fast in this game. I'm just going to do some wolf platforming here. Nice. It's a little bit faster than moving his Alucard. This is another case where using the wolf is nice. I'm going to go for a damage boost. Random, which kind of damage boost you end up getting. I got a decent one. There's one that sends you like through the room and is a little bit faster.
Sure.
But now we're going to be seeing the Alucard shield going to work, absolutely obliterating that boss. It's done in like a fraction of a second.
All right, while you're murdering this guy, I got to rapid fire some questions here. This is going fast, and I got some questions.
Real quick, before there is a huge skip coming through here. This is probably one of the hardest skips in the game. It's the library floor clip. I'm going to be using the wolf to clip into the floor here, using the map to help buffer the inputs because it is like double frame perfect. That's the wrong frame. I'm going to try one more time. There it is. All right. Whew, that still saves time if you get it second try. So.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's one of the more technical tricks in this game. And now that we have the Bat Relic, we can use the Bat Relic using the Wing Smash spell that I was talking about earlier to fly very, very quickly and just completely escape the library that way. It's a little bit faster than doing it the intended way by like leaving the way that we can.
Sure.
And the Wing Smash itself as like the last little bit, because we have a tiny bit of talking room after this next section. The Wing Smash is a very technical input. The way that you perform it, it's you hold the jump button, and then while you're holding the jump button, you have to do a 3/4 circle motion on the joystick or D-pad, and then release the jump button. You have to do this over and over again within like about a second. And if you miss the input, you drop out of the Wing Smash and you transform back into Alucard, and it's quite slow. And you don't get to keep any of that really good momentum. So every time you see me flying there, every second I'm doing a 3/4 circle input while holding and releasing the jump button. And we can use that to like maneuver through these rooms extremely quickly. This being one of the hardest rooms in the game. All right, nice. Making it through that gap there.
All right. All right, so really quick. One, what does the duplicator do? Because I know the mana prism gives you mana. I don't know what the duplicator does. It seems really expensive.
It's very, very expensive, and the mana prisms in combination with the duplicator will allow you to use infinite uses of any single-use item, such as like potions or mana prisms, or I even grabbed buffalo stars, which are single-use items.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's why we buy it. Specifically, it allows us to have infinite amount of mana. Otherwise, every time I do a Wing Smash and you see my mana, which is that blue bar at the top, go down, I would just run out and not be able to do Wing Smashes, which is quite slow compared to just being able to do them whenever I want. Another interesting thing of tech theory that you might have just saw me do is I'm actually dive kicking because I just grabbed the Leap Stone, which gives you access to both a double jump and a dive kick right through this room. I'm going to dive kick and transform into the bat, and the bat maintains your horizontal momentum when you dive kick and transform into it. So we're using that a lot to start our Wing Smash chains because it's a tiny bit faster than transforming without moving, because we're spending that entire transformation animation moving. There's another out of bounds I'm going to be doing here. Hold on. There's so much in this one.
No worries. My next question will come after that, but that's cool.
Yes. Let's frame perfect, and we got it. There we go. I'm using the heart refresh to pause the screen in this particular area. It's a chapel exclusive glitch, and it sends us out of bounds into this like black void, and we use this out of bounds to get into Allroch's quarters in an unintended way. And yeah, from here we're gonna be just doing some more like general movement with the bat now. You can see me zipping around, flying extremely quickly, and going to our next destination, which is the Aurochs boss fight.
So, from my knowledge of Castlevania, I watched a bit of The Blacktastic, a fellow showrunner. What kind of controller do you use? Because I know he uses like an arcade stick, and you're on the Xbox 360, so like, do you have a preference? Does that really matter? Like, because I'm wondering, you're doing so many inputs, like, I'm assuming that has to be optimal.
Yes, so we have runners of all different shapes and sizes using all sorts of different controller configurations. Some people prefer the original like DualShock 1 controller because this game did originally come out on the PlayStation 1. We have people using DualShock 2s. I personally use a wired official Xbox 360 controller because that's just what I'm used to. A lot of runners will use fight sticks. When I play as the Richter character, which is a different type of character in this game, when I do the Richter runs, I actually use like a keyboard fight stick hybrid controller because that's what I found to be most comfortable. So you can basically run this on whatever you want. Real quick, going for yet another out of bounds. Let me see if I can get it. This is gonna be tough to set up. I'll just go for it, YOLO. No, come on. It's frame perfect. Whatever. It's a tight one. It's one of those tricks where if you get it, you save 6 seconds, and if you don't, you just kind of move on. Because it is very, very difficult to set up without getting the initial setup, so.
Right.
But yeah, coming up here, this is like the last bit of movement relic that we're going to be collecting for the rest of the run. So this is the gravity boots that we're grabbing right here. It gives us a huge vertical jump by pressing down, up, and jump. And we're gonna be chaining that in sections where we need to climb vertically, and then moving right into another floor clip, similar to the one that we did in the library using the wolf. I'm gonna be going for another one right here. This one is just as technical, just as difficult. There we go. Oh, 1 frame off. No, I thought I got it. Dang. Yeah, I'm using the map to help buffer these inputs because doing this in real time without map buffering is near impossible. Second try is not bad. I will take that. And I guess to finish explaining a little bit about, because this game, there's a lot of different glitches that we can do. There's a lot of different ways to skip the intended way of beating the game. So the way that we route it is much more important to focus on like just killing the bosses in an optimal route. This boss in particular, if you've played this game casually, will drop an item known as the gold ring. It's one of the important like quest items to getting to the holy glasses item, which is required to get to the second castle normally without glitches. What we're going to be doing in this run is we're actually going to be performing a glitch that enters us into the room where Richter, basically the gatekeeper of the second castle, he's already saved and cleansed of his evil curse without the need for the holy glasses. And that is going to mean that we don't need to actually pick up those items. We can just escape out of there using some slick gravity jumps and bat movement there. Really cool. It's one of my favorite rooms in the game to go through quickly. And then immediately afterwards, thrown into yet another glitch. This next boss fight, there is a door that can deload if there's too many sprites on the screen. So my goal is to deload that door and then reload it on top of me, pushing me through the floor to allow me to escape the boss fight a tiny bit quicker. Let me see if I can get it. I have to just kill this boss while she's off screen. Enter the room. The door's not there. Now it is. It's going to push me into the ground, and I can leave the room. It saves like 10 seconds. It's very, very quick. There we go. Re-equip that mana prism. Grabbing this toadstool for a glitch I'm going to be doing later. And yeah, this is one of the tighter like wing smash sections in the game, because you don't want to touch any of this like sloped terrain, because what it ends up doing is it actually pushes the bat in the direction of the sloped terrain. Uh-oh, ran out of mana there. That's what it looks like when you run out of mana. It just forces you out of your transformation. The amount of mana that you have in the game is slightly random based off of your level ups, and it seems like I got a very bad mana roll. So it's very possible that like some of the tricks or strats that I'd be going for might not exactly work out the way that I want to. I might be a little tight on mana, but I will do my best to react accordingly. So every run is a tiny bit different because of that. Some strats you are able to go for, some you have to be a little more conservative because of the amount of mana that you have. But yeah, the first castle is almost over. Can you believe it? It feels like we just started.
It's been a very frantic run, but I do want to say I think pretty much understand everything that you're doing here, so I'm not at all confused by it. It's very fast, it's very fun.
Yes, this is my favorite category of the game because there's just so much going on so quickly all the time. Here's another out of bounds. This one's my favorite in the game. It saves exactly 1 second if you do it quickly. Oh.
Let's see.
There it is. I got the fast one too. That one's slightly random. So what you're doing is you're taking damage while stuck in a corner by collecting that toadstool item, which is like a joke item that's meant to do damage to the player. And it actually forces you into the ground, and then you touch the load zone from above. Otherwise, like the load zone's like 2 rooms away, and it's like not that far to just touch it normally. So it's not like a required glitch or anything like that. But it's one of my favorites. And here is the final boss of the first castle. I'm going to be using that library card again to get out of here quicker instead of backtracking through the way that we came. And that was the final boss of the first castle. All that's left for us to do is to go to the second castle, kill all the bosses there, and then join up with Dracula, beating Dracula, and finishing the game. So, and like I said before, we are going to be doing that glitch that allows us to interact with Richter in a way that he's already saved and you don't need to worry about the holy glasses at all. And that trick is, I'm gonna be going for a less consistent but slightly faster method. If I don't end up getting it, I'll go for the more consistent method. It's a more relatively recently discovered version of Richter Skip because there's so many different ways to skip this boss. Essentially, if you enter the room in a way that wasn't really intended by the developers, what ends up happening is that they load the default state for that room, which is Richter just being saved. So there's many different ways to do it, but the fastest way is to do a very particular jump while in the wolf transformation. So that's what I'm going to be going for right here. Missed it there. One more try. No. There we go. Got it. Nice. So I have to be careful there to skip the cutscene at the right time too, otherwise you soft lock, you'll just walk against the ledge forever. It's really embarrassing when it happens, but yeah, that trick, I jumped into the room using the wolf's skinny hitbox, and the game never detected me entering the room, so it essentially loads the default state for that room, which is Richter just being saved, so we can just move past there without having to worry about him at all. And that's basically the last bit of like crazy glitches or crazy tech for quite a while. So now is a more like just gonna be basic movement from boss to boss. So this would be a great time to answer questions if people have any, or just to, you know.
All right. I'll keep an eye out for chat right now if any come up, but questions from me. So you said this is kind of like, I guess, your favorite category for this. What other kind of categories can be popular for this game?
Any percent no save corruption is the most popular category of this game, and no save corruption essentially means that you don't like do save corruption, which leads to arbitrary code execution, which leads to just pulling up the credits within the first like 3 minutes of the game. Sure. Because of course this game has that. Again, that was also found by Sockfolder. Yeah, that any percent no save corruption is the main category that most people play. This one is like any percent no save corruption, plus you also get to do a bunch of extra cool stuff with different kinds of movement and stuff.
All right, next question. Go ahead really quick.
I was just gonna say, like, access to the gravity boots or the leap stone, which gives you access to like doing the dive kicks transformation into bat. That stuff isn't really like useful in any percent because it's faster to just skip it and use the bat to just fly everywhere. But this gives you access to a couple more movement options.
All right, so I got 2 for you here really quick from me. Or I guess 3 because you want to chat. One. So does a lot of the tech carry between Castlevania games? Like doing a lot of stuff here, can you take that to like, I don't know, like Aria of Sorrow or something? I'm not too well versed in the Castlevania series. I know some of it, but not all of it. And 2 really quick, what made you want to run this game?
What made me want to run this game? Rom Scout. To be 100% honest. If you guys know Rom Scout, you know exactly why. This is also one of my childhood favorites. I played this game a ton as a kid, and seeing the speedrun be so broken kind of lent me to being interested in learning how it works. And the community at the time when I was learning, it still is very, very open and welcoming. But there was just people that were super excited to have me like learn the game and all that fun stuff. So it was super easy to get into, and it still is that way to this day. If you check out the speedrun.com/Soten page, there's tons of info to get you started. There's a Discord group, the Long Library Discord group is the one that we hang out in, and like all the runners and all that. There's a ton of great resources in there. What was the first question?
I'll get to that one in a moment, but really quick, I saw a really good question in chat. So you play on the 360. Are there actually version differences between the games?
Oh my goodness, there's... How many versions of this game even exist? There's so many, and they're all slightly different. The important thing to note is that the PlayStation version and the Xbox 360 version are essentially identical outside of load times and lag. The 360 version is faster when it comes to loading the game and reducing lag. But the most common or most recent versions of this game that exist, the Requiem port and the mobile phone port, those ones are based off of the PSP version, which was a remake. Yeah, there's a mobile port of this game that is actually quite feature rich, all things considered. Like, it's a very decent way to play the game if that's your only way to play. And it's relatively cheap too. I think it's like $3 in total. But yeah, that's based off of the PSP port of the game that was originally bundled with Dracula X Chronicles, which was a completely different game. It was like a bonus game inside of a game. And that version is like not as good. It's not super accurate to the original, so a lot of people end up disliking it. A lot of glitches got patched out. So for the most part, people avoid speedrunning on that one too much. But it does have its own unique speedrun that's just different.
The question from earlier as well that I asked was, so does a lot of the tech in Symphony of the Night translate to other Castlevania games? I imagine you probably run more than one.
Yes, I'm very familiar. Well, I wouldn't say super duper familiar. This is my main game after all, but I am familiar with other Metroidvania-style Castlevania games, mostly. I'm not very good at the classic ones. They're too difficult for me, to be honest. But yeah, Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia, those style of games. Some ideas kind of transfer over, but the tech is very, very specific to Symphony of the Night for the most part, especially the glitches. And like, there are some backdash canceling that exists in most of the Castlevania games that kind of transfers over, even though the muscle memory is not the same. But each one is kind of broken in their own unique ways. So they're like similar, but different. They're like, you know, cousins in a way. But I would say if you're interested in speedrunning, you're probably going to be interested in the speedrun for Aria of Sorrow or the speedrun for Dawn of Sorrow or any of the other Metroidvania style Castlevania games, because they're all kind of like open-ended and broken in their own special ways.
All right. A lot of fun with that. I guess on another one, what's the worst version of the game to run?
So it depends on what your definition of worst is. If you're trying to play as Alucard, I would say the Sega Saturn version is probably... I've ran the Sega Saturn version. It's not that bad, but it's very laggy. The game is kind of like incomplete in a lot of ways. It does have extra content, but that content is locked behind like a very poor optimized port. So I don't know. It does have its own unique individual character, which is Maria, that's specific to that version, and that speedrun's amazing. I definitely recommend checking out Sega Saturn versions of Maria speedruns, because that character is super overpowered. But if you want to play as Alucard, I don't recommend it. I would say stay away from the Requiem port if you can. It's probably like my least favorite out of the... If you have the chance to play on an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, or the Xbox Series S or X, this is all backwards compatible with those consoles. I recommend using that version, especially if you're interested in speedrunning, because those are the fastest versions to play.
Actually,
or if not, just playing the PlayStation version is perfectly fine.
So with the 360, the One and the Series X, or I should say the Xbone, are there load differences? Because I know, like, with certain games you're on 360, you lose a lot of time through sheer loads, but this game looks really quick on the loading.
So because the backwards compatibility works in a specific way, from my understanding, I could be wrong, but I believe it's just emulating the Xbox 360. So the load times and the lag essentially are identical.
All right.
So the only difference is a small amount of extra input delay when playing on the more recent consoles, because it is emulation. But it's like hardly noticeable from my understanding. I don't play on those versions, so I can't speak from experience, but everybody that I know that has ran on those consoles says that it's like basically identical.
All right.
And yeah, this game is like super easy to get into if you're interested in like learning the speedrun. It's also super accessible as far as like emulation. If you're interested in like emulating the PlayStation version, that's where a lot of people end up playing the game, I believe. And the Discord has like tons of good resources for like how to set it up for speedrunning. as well as like different like extra tools you could add to stuff for like even like the randomizer, for example, because that's like a whole separate can of worms. There is a randomizer for this game that is extremely good. You can check it out at soten.io if you're interested in learning more about it. The speedrunning community, basically like a member of our speedrunning community, built the randomizer himself. His name is Wildmouse. Super awesome dude, and I highly recommend checking it out. We do races all the time in the Discord too of the randomizer, so if you want to get into something a little more like not like casual necessarily, because it is still like speedrunning, but it's a lot of people that are still new to the game that are like learning the game through the first time through the randomizer. It's a really good time. I definitely recommend checking it out.
I saw a few of these questions in chat, and I think you did explain, but just in case someone came in late. So how are you doing the thing where like the bat's like just charging, like I guess you're chaining the bat charges, or?
Yes. So this is the Wing Smash spell. So once you have access to the bat, you instantly have access to the Wing Smash. It's like a hidden mechanic, almost similar to like wall jumping in Super Metroid. What you have to do is you have to hold the jump button, do a 3/4 circle motion on either the D-pad or the joystick, and then release the jump button, and you have to chain that within 63 frames, about a second. So you have to repress the input every second, basically, that whole input chain. And if you miss that input, you drop out of the Wing Smash. And that's how I'm able to chain them super far. And here we are, coming up on basically the last trick of the game. This is another reverse shift line, similar to the one that I did to skip the death cutscene. This should work. And I'm going to be setting it up to basically skip the requirement for like extra relics and stuff to get to Dracula. 4, 5, 6. Here I'm flying in the ceiling to avoid basically like a barrier that checks to see if I've beaten specific bosses and collected their relics. It's slower to collect the relics, so instead I just skip them and do that skip instead. And here we are basically on the very end of the run. So it goes by really, really quickly, even though we're doing like a majority of the content of the game, every single boss in the game.
It's been a very fun, fast run.
Yeah. And yeah,
are waiting for this little moment. Do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone?
Shout outs to everybody that is here from my Twitch channel. I see you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome. Shout outs to everybody in the Soten community and everybody who speedruns this game, watches this game, supports runners of this game. This game is really what kind of got me into streaming, got me interested in like, you know, being involved in the speedrunning community at large. So I owe a lot to this game and the people that support this game and play this game. So thank you to you guys. And again, check out That's Time, by the way. Sorry. It goes by so fast, I forgot.
I didn't know that was the final boss. You said you were going to fight Dracula. Where did he go?
He was there. He's on the screen. Real quick, if you guys are interested in learning more about this game, I said it before, but speedrun.com/Soten, SOTN. There's a ton of resources there. The Long Library Discord, it's linked in the speedrun.com page. Join the Discord. We are always happy to have more people as a part of the community. If you want to learn how to do these crazy glitches or just learn more about how this game works on the inside, it's a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much.
I want to slow it down for a brief moment here. So, Dragon Blitz, if anyone wanted to check out you personally as like a runner, as a streamer, as anything like that, Twitter, Twitch, all that, where can they find you?
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. I upload a lot of stuff to YouTube that is like tutorial content, entertaining content, randomizer content on youtube.com/DragonBlitz1. I couldn't get the original. I don't know how. And then Twitter at DragonBlitz, all spelt the same way. And I actually made a tutorial for this category that is on my YouTube. I'm sure if you search DragonBlitz all bosses tutorial or Soten all bosses tutorial, it's gonna pop up because I actually learned this category through friends teaching me in person, and not everybody has the luxury to have somebody sit them down and teach them. So I was inspired to make a full tutorial of the game, and it's you can start from basically zero and learn the whole category, and it's a lot of fun.
That was a very fun run to watch. I just want to say it right now. I hope you do more runs like this in general. I hope people are checking you out for this one. That was very, very frantic.
Yeah, it's a lot. We were talking about like how to even commentate a run like this, and I made like a notes page, and it was like, this is your chance to breathe. And
hey, it worked very well. I'll say it right now. very like while it was fast, while there's a lot going on, at no moment did I feel confused. It's kind of nice to have that where while things are fast, the explanations are just as fast, and not in a bad way.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate having this opportunity. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah. That being said, before we head on off to the next game, we watch the ending here. Do you have anything else you'd like to add or just mention? Or
yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being interested in a game that I love so much and having the time to check me out. And if you want to see more, check out my Twitch, check out my YouTube, check out my Twitter. I would appreciate it.
All right. I want to mention as well really quick, as I mentioned for the Evil Within 2, part of my reason for wanting to bring this on the show is because I know I think from even previous GDQs, like, I know how cool that backdash tech is, and I just love watching Alucard the entire time, just infinite backdashing. It's fun to watch, so, and it was a very good showcase. I'm very happy to have this on here.
Thank you very much again.
All right. With that being said, though, we are going to go to a quick wellness break once again while we prepare for our final game of the night. Before we do that, though, I just want to mention that for the month of July, GDQ will be donating its portion of Twitch subscriber and bit revenue, minus taxes, to Doctors Without Borders. This will be including all sorts of subs, so gifted subs, Prime Gaming subs, normal channel subs, and the like, and bits. We did end the event at $2.9 million raised, so let's see if we can get to about $3 million. As well, if you missed out on any of the SGDQ VODs, you can go to youtube.com/gamesdonequick.com to check out full runs from the events. That being said, we're now going to be going to that wellness break, so stand up, do what you need. We'll be right back. All right, we're back from the break. That Castlevania run was so fast, so frantic, so great. I like that run a lot. It was very fun to watch it. Dragonblitz did a great job explaining. Honestly, the explanations were just as fast as the run and just as well executed, so I was very happy to see it. There's a big Castlevania block, and you can always like more Castlevania. That being said, we'll be going on to our last and final game of the night. We have another horror gem, a staple of the horror genre, if you would. We're going to be hitting one of my favorite franchises. I'm a bit biased to this one as well. But our final game will be Silent Hill 4, The Room, with the one and only, an eternal enigma. Take it away.
Hey, hello, GDQ. I'm normally the one reading the donations. The tables have turned. I am now in the driver's seat, the runner's seat. So welcome. I am an eternal enigma. It is a pleasure to be here. Egdisis, thank you for having me, my friend.
No problem. I also want to mention really quick, for anyone who might, previous Speedruns from the Crypt viewers, you might remember we actually had an Eternal Enigma on here previously for Silent Hill 4 The Room. However, I just want to add a couple things really quick. One, the route has actually changed since you were last here, to my knowledge.
Actually, the route changed before I was here last, but I wasn't really practiced on the runs. But I trust me, I have done nothing but play this for the last month because this was on SGDQ backup. So I'm ready. There are some new things. I just was a little slow getting to them, but they are here now, and we will be showing some new things. The Silent Hill 4 community has greatly expanded in the last few months. We've had some amazing new runners. Matt Gale, who is the new world record holder. I think Lance LM, Chuleta. We've had Zzarks. Just a lot of new blood, and it's been great to see. So I am honored to be here. And as a tradition, before we get too deep, I want to give everybody some time. We're going to do something a little special, something that we like to do on my channel from time to time. We're going to do a poll for the blood color. So if you would like to select the blood color, it's red, green, or purple. So they will inform you of your decision. So while you are all choosing your blood color, I'd like to introduce my official couch. Two of the three folks that would have been on my couch during SGDQ if we had gotten in the schedule. Here is Maxi Lobes.
Hello, everybody.
And Egdisis, the host of the show, conveniently enough, would have been on my couch. Hello, Egdisis.
How's it going?
Pretty good. And shout outs to the third would have been member of my couch, the legendary Grand Theft Auto runner, KZ Fru, but he's having a little family time right now. I didn't want to interfere with that. So KZ is having some family time. So shout outs to KZ Fru if you're out there. I love you, buddy. I hope you're having a good time tonight. So as you see, we don't do green screens on GDQ, so I have decided to give you the illustrious Silent Hill slot machine and preloaded with tokens. Did we get anything already? Oh, I hope that is not a harbinger of things to come. Igdisis, you got your slot machine today, right?
I do, and I have two things really quick. One, do you move it like using wheels? Because that thing is really heavy.
It does not have wheels, but I have it on a tray that does have wheels.
Okay, so I'm wondering, like, how do you move that? Because it's like it's heavier than printers. Like, it's large.
It's got. I don't know if you can see, but it does have handle. Mine has handles right
Mine
here.
has handles, but it's still heavy.
It's still very heavy. I had to bring this upstairs by myself when I got it.
All
So
right, and two, blood color will be purple.
it is purple. Okay, so let's bring it up. We're gonna go ahead and put it in there.
Easy victory for.
I also want to mention, kind of going back to why this run will be fitting for here. It was on the SGDQ backup, and it was actually the only Silent Hill run to possibly have representation at this last SGDQ. So
that is correct.
It's quite a nice game to see.
Yep, I'm glad to have it here. For those of you GDQ historians, I last ran this at AGDQ 2017. The gentleman with the NWO hoodie, that was me. I know in the comments they were talking about the NWO symbol being a gang sign. I don't know what that's about. It's not a gang sign. It's the Wolfpack symbol. That's all it is. So rest assured, it's on the up and up because it's for life. Too sweet. All right. So I think if we've talked a lot. I think we're ready to go. Are we?
On your mark.
Okay. So the time is going to begin when I select the difficulty. Let me just make sure the blood got selected properly. I was like to double check when we're doing. All right, we're a purple. Everyone voted for purple. I wonder why. I wonder why they voted for purple. I wonder. I don't know. I wonder. All right. Anyways, time will begin when I select the difficulty. So that will be in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we are going to start out already. If you've played the first 3 Silent Hill games, we are going to start out a little bit different. It is first person. We have some first person segments in Silent Hill 4. First time it's ever been in a Silent Hill game. So right here, they force us to go to the phone. We're going to escape that here. We're going to go out of here. We're just going to go to the door. Skipping cutscenes is very crucial in Silent Hill 4 because unlike 1, 2, and 3, this game is tracking your cutscene watch time as in-game time, and it is quite strange. I don't know why it does that,
Very
but it
similar to
does.
the Resident Evil series. The Silent Hill timers just get worse and worse as they go on.
Yes, they do. And in some instances, they throw the timer out completely. Silent Hill Homecoming doesn't even have one.
They brought it back for Downpour.
They did, but it's kind of broken. It's kind of broken.
But I want to mention that really quick for Downpour. There's a reason why the timer stops where it does. I know this isn't a Downpour run, but it stops where it does because one of the endings is doing nothing.
I swear, I cannot escape Silent Hill Downpour. I'm playing Silent Hill 4. We've talked about Downpour already.
That is
What
true.
is with Downpour?
That is true.
That's all good. It's fun. There's nothing else to talk about right here either. We're just going up a tunnel, so. But yes, Shattered Memories does not have an in-game timer. Homecoming does not have one. I think Origins has one, and it's all right. But yeah, Downpours is a little wacky. It cuts off before the actual end of the game where you make the final decision. So
I am reminded.
But
really
this
quick,
game's
though,
timer is a little wacky too. It's a little strange as well.
A little bit. Really quick, I
'Cause it
want
tracks your
to
cutscene.
mention 2 things while we're kind of going through the subway here.
Sure.
For one, I want to applaud. I don't know if they're watching this one, but I do want to applaud the GDQ Games Committee for choosing a stellar horror block. I always, I'm a bit partial to the horror genre myself, and while I am doing kind of like the bonus of runs I really think were cool that were on the backup, I do want to mention I really did love the horror blocks this year. And
and it's. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, and 2, we did talk about this before the run began, but we do look at chat here, so if anyone does have any questions for Mr. Enigma during this run, you are more than welcome to ask, and me and Maxie can read them.
Absolutely. Go for it. Do your best. Not your worst, but your best.
Also, as you were saying.
just to kind of leapfrog on that, as somebody who is frequently a host for the horror blocks on GDQ, the last few have been incredible. They've been great to partake in. You know, I hosted for Dead Space and Little Nightmares 2, which was fantastic. So it's great to be a part of this stuff no matter what. So right on with that. So to kind of jump back on what's going on here with the run, a few of mechanics that are going to be a little bit different from 4 than the first 3 games. And I'll show you, there's going to be a lot of what we call camera tilting. This little scene right here we can't skip. But there's going to be some camera tilting here. We use the mouse. The only time I ever use the mouse, I am on keyboard and mouse. The only time I ever use the mouse is when I'm in the first person segments of this game. So the rest is just straight up keyboard. But you will notice here, watch the camera. You see how I'm doing this with the camera? I am not moving Henry. I am moving the camera. This game has a very strange mechanic of camera tilting, but as strange as it is, and it's not something you see in a lot of other games or any other game, but it helps here because you can steer the camera to move Henry without having to move him, and it's very advantageous if you want to get some of the higher times in this run. And as you can see now, we quickly went back to the conventional third party, what is going on? Third person camera. I'm getting a little excited, sorry. But the keyboard, oh, hello. There's a little thing right there. This is the PC version of Silent Hill 4. The controls on the PC version are a little wacky. And sometimes if you try to preload movements too early, Henry will do the opposite and just fly off in the middle of nowhere. So you have to be really careful. And this version also has what we call pause loads, where we pause the game and let the game load in the background before we move Henry to kind of optimize our movements. But the thing is, they're not consistent, and you can't even do it in some areas of the game. This is a very, very preposterous entry in the series, for sure. There's a lot of things you don't see in any other games. So we're just running through here. We do have Cynthia. You may see Cynthia is following us, so a little bit of an escort mission, but she cooperates. She'll go with us no matter how far away we get from her, but the real escort mission is coming up a little bit later. So for instance, pause load. Right here, I can pause the game, and the game loads in without me having to wait for the game to fade in to move Henry, and that is advantageous because it stops the in-game timer, and that's what we base our speedruns on. So we're gonna pick up the handgun bullets here for later. You may be wondering why I unlocked that door and then immediately turned around and didn't go through it. Well, that's because we're gonna go through that door in the second half of the game. Second half of the game, we're gonna go through all these areas one more time, so get ready for that. There's gonna be a dog here. We're gonna try to avoid it. Rude dog. Don't you know we're on GDQ right now? We're gonna camera tilt right here. And you cannot camera tilt everywhere. You can only camera tilt somewhere. All right, well, the dog left us alone.
Now time for one of the most important parts of the early game.
Oh, no.
Escalator time. That one right there is always free, but here we go. Oh, this one may be free. Yes. Oh, it was a fake free.
So, Max, would you like to break down what these dudes are doing?
So these wall dudes, they have a couple different attacks. One of them you just saw where they kind of sweep from the side, and there's also an overhead kind of swing. That's the swing you're looking for. The overhead swing is usually the one where they won't swing again. Side swings that you see, they can last up to anywhere between, like 3 to even like 7 swings. So Enigma actually got really good luck on there.
Great.
On that escalator there.
Great escalator. So right there, the behavior of the enemies is random, but the placements are not. The first one you can always avoid no matter what, but the rest, just kind of go for it. If you see the crown of the head on the enemy, usually you can run by, but there's an instance like you just saw where it will jut right out and hit you. But that escalator was very, very good. Very, very good. So we're now in Forest World. That right there, what I just did where I went through the tree and that little pole, it is a lot more difficult than you think it is, because Silent Hill 4 is a game that where you see the walls end, they're not where they really ended, if you know what I mean. The collision boxes go a little bit further than their graphical endpoint, so you have to be really careful. Right there, you see? And every time Henry does that, you lose about a second or two of time. And the birds were kind of nice to us there. I think we got hit, what, 3 or 4 times on that?
A lot of purple
That's
blood.
Generally acceptable.
Not
Oh
too
yeah,
bad.
did we see the purple blood, yes?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It is purple.
All right, we are not going to camera tilt here because we may get a little bit of a dog, but I don't think we're going to get it. No, we're not. We tried, but we didn't get hit either, so that's good. So we're not going to see it. We just didn't get it. But sometimes when you run in front of the dogs, their attack animation or their attack detection ends before their hit animation ends. So when that happens, you can run in front of the dog and they'll give you a nice little push boost. Like it will just shoot you ahead for a few seconds, but we didn't get it there. But we didn't get hit either. So that's a good trade-off. Silent Hill 4, as somebody who has run all 8 mainline Silent Hill games and has submitted times for all 8, to me, this is arguably the most chaotic of all 8. But hey, that's good. That's good for the people watching it because you never know what's going to happen. That's a lot of reason why I like running it. This is the first game that I ever speed ran in my life. I used to have the world record on this back in 2015, long time ago. I had been in 3rd place for a long time, but with all the new blood, I have been respectfully pushed down a little bit just because so many great new runners have emerged on this game, and it's been so nice to see everybody show up and show this game some love. It's been awesome to watch. I've really enjoyed it. So we picked up the chocolate milk in the very beginning of the game, and we're going to give it to our boy Jasper. We cannot continue without giving chocolate milk to Jasper Gain right here, or Gain, however they pronounce it in the game. So we're going to pick up the spade. Jasper is going to stay right there the whole time and drink chocolate milk.
Chocolate.
He loves it. He can't get enough of it. Stay to the left there to avoid the bird. Oh no! Rude dogs.
Fun little fact, Jasper has a t-shirt. It's like a band t-shirt, and it's got the Silent Hill 1 final boss on it. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got a Samael, I think it was, from Silent Hill 1. Or whatever they referred to the final bosses. All right, so we're going here. This is a little game extension mechanic. Oh, look at the chocolate milk in the chat. All right. Yeah, a little chocolate milk. I love that. Remember, Maxie, we had a chocolate milk party at the end of AGDQ 2017 at the end of the run. They brought chocolate milk for us.
Chocolate milk.
Didn't expect that at all. It was
actually
great.
Pretty good, too.
If I'm calling it right now, if we ever get this game back into a mainline GDQ when we're live and in person again, I will provide the chocolate milk party. You can't stop me. It's going to be chocolate milk bash. You can mark my words. You can put it down. So what we're doing right here, we just picked up a key. The game, in an effort to try to extend the time of the game a little bit, the game makes you go back and put it in the chest in your apartment. Because if you try to go back to this main area with the key, you can't. It'll just put you through that one room eternally. Oh, the bird hit us right before. So now we have to go back to the room, get the key, and then we're done with Forest 2. So
this area is like the first one that really drives home the whole you need to go back to your apartment often. Because there's a lot of stuff that you'll miss, like casually playing it, if you don't go back to your apartment as often as possible.
And the game's not really mysterious about it either. If you examine the key in your inventory, I think it says something like the one who holds this key will wander in eternity or something. So it's like, oh yeah, let me go put the key up. Like one of the big, criticisms of Silent Hill 4, which is valid, is the fact there weren't really a lot of puzzles. There's not a lot of puzzles. Think about the brain melting puzzles in Silent Hill 3, the Shakespeare puzzle and all that. And then you come to this game and then there's just nothing. There's no puzzles. It's a very different game. So we have to examine this to get the game to move on. And Jasper is going to go from chocolate milk ecstasy to a little something else that we're not going to show because we have to move on. This is a speed run. Jasper is making himself a part of the 21 Sacraments with we'll just say he's played a lot of NBA Jam and he's on fire right now. We'll leave it at that. So we're going to go to the water prison, our next area here. We're going to run towards the camera. So the key here, if you're running this, you look for the pillar on the bottom left of the screen. As soon as you do that, you turn to Henry's right. Boom. That's your clue to start turning. And now we're going to go down this ladder. Go down another ladder. We're just gonna get a key. This area is pretty simple until we get to a certain part, which will be explained by my commentary team here, because I will need to focus a little bit.
Like a lot of the move effect that Enigma just explained, like the visual cue of the pillar. I think there are a lot more of those in this game because the tech is so different. Its titles in the series, like I would say, this game has a very unique way of moving Henry. It's, as opposed to maybe Heather and Silent Hill. It's just mainly tank controls, and you can kind of count steps and really build muscle memory.
That's a thing I forgot to mention. This game was the first Silent Hill game with no tank controls. It is all, I guess, directional, I guess you call it. Yeah. There's just no tank controls in this game. And the PC version of this game is very strange from the PC versions of 2 and 3. It is not the same fluent movement as 2 and 3. When I played, I grew up a controller player. I didn't have a gaming PC when I was a kid. I just played on consoles. So I grew up playing on controllers, and I never could get used to mouse and keyboard until I played Silent Hill 3 on mouse and keyboard, and then it finally clicked for me. So then I come to this game and play it on mouse and keyboard, and it just, you notice the differences real fast between Silent Hill 3 and 4. I don't know what went on here. This game does not have any true, like, 8-way directional movement. It's just strange. So now we're going through the holes here, a little tribute to James Sunderland, Silent Hill 2. But we can see the bottom of these, and we're gonna go here. Oh my God, the enemy gets me every time. All right, we're gonna go up the ladder here. Maxie, do you wanna explain what's about to happen here?
So, you gotta spin these wheels. Not those types of wheels, all right? I know what you're thinking, chat. Anyways, here's the wheel skips. Enigma is going to press turn right. And at the same time as turn right, he's going to also press the escape button, which is the pause menu. And essentially what this does is this is skipping a cutscene, which you're seeing now. And considering you only got one cutscene there, that was very good. Those skips were very clean.
Yeah.
5 out of 6. Very good.
That's pretty damn good.
That is something you can only do on the PC version. Console version, try to attempt that, it will just hard lock. You'll have to restart your console.
Yep. Because the console versions do not have a look at the wheels. They do not have a pause menu, so you're stuck in eternity. So yeah, and we got the first two skips. The first two skips on the very top floor are very important because those are the two that determine whether or not you skip the cutscene on the bottom. And as we said, Silent Hill 4 detects your cutscene watching time as it's in-game time, so it's very important that you skip those. So that was very clean. 5 out of 6 is phenomenal. We're going to pause load here to make sure Henry doesn't fly into the enemies. This is a very good run so far. So the key here is 0302, just like our room, 0302. Can you imagine that? So we're going to go through here, and I think we're going to Building World next. We're going to see some new enemies. We're going to get a Sword of Obedience for the first time. Look at the wheels in the chat. I love it. Thank you all very much. Thanks for joining us, by the way. I appreciate it. Appreciate having everybody here. Appreciate Maxie and Igdisis being here. Again, thanks to GDQ for having me. Look at the monkeys flying across the ceiling. Where are they at? Oh, they got a little shy. They didn't show up. Oh, okay. They got a little, the monkeys, the monkey men got a little shy. I mean, hey, can you blame them? We'll have one right here, though. There they are. Now, the official name for these enemies are gum heads. That's what they call them. They're gum heads. Now, I don't see any chewing gum, but that's what they call them, gum heads. So we're going to go here. We're going to get the key. With the routing that we do for this game now, we do get the Sword of Obedience here so that we can keep our inventory clear for Forest 2. We'll go over that when we get there, though. So we're going to go down these stairs here. We're going to make a little turn and burn right there. All right, now whether this ghost will show up in this door or not is a little bit of luck. Let's see what happens. Oh, couldn't get it. GDQ, they know we're here. The ghosts know we're here. And that's all right.
I'm just going to say it now.
Do it.
Hopefully we don't get the sequel to the twin victim hallway.
Oh, the hall. Yeah, I've been working on that one. I've been working on it.
I'm just
don't
gonna
worry
say
about
that's
it.
been my my benchmark of me kind of bringing bad luck to the runner. So I've been mentioning that whenever you know, after that run, when future runners may have bad things happen, it's like, well, it's not the twin victim hallway.
I heard you talk about it too during Evil Within 2.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
By the way, great run of Evil Within 2. Shout outs to that run as well. That was
I love
awesome.
the
I loved
flings.
watching that.
Like, I knew the moment
Fantastic.
I saw that first fling, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this run. It's fun.
Yeah, awesome. It was great. Let's see here. Go this way. Not really a lot to talk about. One of the really high level strats of Silent Hill 4 is kind of feathering the run walk button. So we have our default movement set to run. We don't have him set default to walk. He runs automatically. And Silent Hill 4's PC control is very chaotic. So what we do to try to limit a little bit of that chaos is we hit the walk run button, the walk run toggle, and we feather that when he's running around corners, and it does seem to control his movements a little bit more than if you didn't use it. So that is a very helpful tip for anybody that wants to get into running this game and you find his movement to be a little intimidating. I think the default walk run button is left shift, but I've moved it to right shift because I think that helps me out a little bit more. Oh, hello. Oh, okay, that's good. Ooh, that's crazy. But one run walk will help you out there to help Henry from flying off in the middle of nowhere. What is going on here? Okay, here we go. That's okay. That's all right. All right, we're walking down here. Not really much to talk about. It's just, this is like Staircase Simulator. The Building World 1 is pretty much Staircase Simulator. We have a pretty neat glitch we're going to use, or not really a glitch, but an escort out of bounds that we're going to use in Building 2. But we'll get there when we come to it. Now, one of the recent strategies, one of the things you may see different in this run is the fact we do not pick up that rusty axe anymore. We don't pick up a melee weapon until almost near the end of the game. And that is a new strategy that really blew my mind when I saw it. When I saw we didn't pick that up anymore, I started screaming. I didn't get the glitch, but that's okay. What I was trying to do there was use one of my items in my inventory to skip that cutscene. And if I had done it correctly, it's almost frame perfect to do. If I had done it correctly, Henry would have broken out of that cutscene and you would have been able to run him up the steps. It's the only cutscene break of its kind that's been discovered in this game. Unfortunately, I did not get it. It's very difficult to get, at least for me. But it's hype when you get it. So you try to use an item in your inventory. It will be unsuccessful, but it will break him out of that scene. It saves a few seconds if you get it. That's the story about Silent Hill 4 as well. There's not really any huge, big time-saving skips and stuff like that, but it's little things like that. It's little things like the cutscene break, the animation skips we'll see later that save a few seconds here, a few seconds there, that really, I think, also made this game a bit more consistent to run, and I think it's what attracted some more runners to the game. And it's a very good thing because this game is very intimidating from the outside. So shout outs to everybody in the community. I am not the person that finds glitches. I am not the glitch hunter. So shout outs to everybody in the Silent Hill 4 community that finds this stuff. It is incredible. I am merely the one that imitates their work. And shout outs to everyone in the Silent Hill Speedrunning Discord for all their work they have found on this in the last few months. So we are now in apartment world. We get the key here. So if you're playing this part of the game casually, this is the part of the game where you get tons and tons of red pieces of paper, as you see under that door right there. You're gonna get a lot of lore in this game right here. You only need to get one of them to progress through the game, just one piece. Shut up, Walter. No one cares. No one cares. We're talking about the red pieces of paper. Walter tried to interrupt me, and I think he's so rude. No one cares, Walter. Just stop. All right. So we're gonna go into Sunderland's room and get the keys. And there we go. So we're gonna have keys for all the apartments. We only need to get one. And it's down here on the bottom floor. So we're going to go get it. You see, Walter has already destroyed these poor dogs that somehow make cat noises. The audio in Silent Hill 4 is interesting. Oh, we got hit there.
Jaguar dogs.
Exactly. Now, some of you may be wondering, Mr. Enigma, how did you open that fridge without touching those things on the ground? Well, if you do not have a melee weapon equipped, but you hold the equip weapon button. Ooh, rude dog. If you hold the equip weapon button, you can interact with everything in front of those little tremors on the floor, which is what the game calls them, tremors. So a little trick there for those of you interested in running this. But that's only if you're not holding a melee weapon, which we don't even equip one, I think, until the last 1/4 of the game. Which is very interesting because Ecdysis, Maxi, I think both of you will agree with me that even if you play this game on easy, which we do on any percent because we're just trying to beat the game as fast as possible, I think both of you will agree that this game is can get pretty wild even on lower difficulties with all the enemies. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the dogs. They get mean, man.
Very. And we had
There's a lot of weird hitboxes too. So like fighting enemies sometimes with like the game tries to emphasize melee, yet on gun. And the rest of the weapons are melee weapons. And you're trying to beat up this enemy with a golf club, and it's hitting you farther than you can reach with your golf club. You just have no idea what you're doing anymore.
Yeah. There's so much to talk about in this game. That reminded me, this is the first game that instituted breakable weapons, the golf clubs. Not all weapons break, just the golf clubs, but this game also had inventory limits, kind of like Resident Evil did. So that also is an interesting element to this speedrun is inventory management, because you can't just pick up everything anymore like you could in the previous 3. All right, so I think we have officially concluded the first half of the game. And those of you that are familiar with Silent Hill 4, you know what's coming up next. And Maxi, Ecdysis, you know what's coming up next, right? Does the number 22 ring a bell for both of you?
It does. I'm thinking...
It does.
I'm gonna guess L5R2.
Okay, that's good. L5R2 for Ecdysis. I'll go with L4R7.
Okay. I ran this in practice before, when Evil Within 2 was on. I must admit, I got R2, R3.
You know what?
So I'm not expecting the same. But you never know. All right, so we have to check the wheelchair placement there. It's good. That won't interfere with us. We have to do the elevator key, and here we go. L1. Now we do pause so I can get a little look at what room we're in. Sometimes they take slower to load, but it does stop the timer.
All right, well,
if
it's
I
not
pause
R2.
Right there. Okay, it's not L2. L3, nope. R3. Those wheelchairs can hurt you, but when you come out of the doors, you have about 2 or 3 seconds of iframes. So that's why I'm not particularly worried about them. All right, we're not getting a good hospital this time. I think this is what, L5?
That's L5 right there, yeah.
My guess is entirely gone.
Same.
R6. See, Maxie, I told you I was not going to get it again.
Yep, we talked about this.
Oh, Eileen is in L6. So if you find a door that says it's locked, that's the room Eileen is in. So Eileen's in L6. We have R7. Nope. There we go. What was that? R8, I think it was?
R8, L6.
R8 and L6.
Pretty rough.
Uh-oh. Ooh! Okay, I had to get in that door to avoid that wheelchair. There we go. Woo! After about 2 or 3 seconds, those wheelchairs will knock you down. And now the wheelchairs have been replaced with these patient enemies that make a very interesting noise when you attack them, but we do not have a melee weapon, so...
There's Eileen.
Oh!
It's got hit.
Yep. If Eileen gets hit and she's in an animation, she will not go through the door, so I had to go back and get her. Now, if you're familiar with Resident Evil Remake, stair skating, that is what I have found recently to be the most, consistent way to pull Eileen with you, is kind of stair skating down, and she tends to halfway mimic Henry's movements. So now, this game has officially transformed into an escort mission. Eileen will be with us until the end of the game. So now, as if this game could not have been more chaotic already, we now have the added responsibility of bringing Eileen with us the rest of the way. So get ready for that, because it is going to get a little wild probably.
Yeah, and unlike Cynthia, who we had at the beginning of the game, Eileen does not really follow you through doors unless she is right next to Henry, somewhat close to him. So that makes things very, very difficult.
And the reason it is designed that way is because how much you pay attention to Eileen determines your ending as well. It's kind of like whether or not you pay attention to Maria in Silent Hill 2. That does play a part in the ending in like Eileen's possession level. So right here, what I try to do is I try to stay as middle as I can. And I'm spamming this because it stops the in-game timer. The moment Eileen gets close, all right, back up. Okay, that was good safety. Okay, that was good. That could have been way worse. Okay, so now we are on the. Okay, there's not much to do here. Let's see. Can we spin? Can we spin? Let's see what we got here. Will we get good luck here? No. Wow. Unbelievable. We're not getting good luck on the. Let me one more. Can I get one more? No. Oh my goodness. The slot machine knows that slot machine knew the hospital RNG. We could not get it done.
Question by the way.
Yeah.
How many tokens do you need to put in your slot machine to get a game?
3.
Okay, so mine's the same. I was wondering if it was I think you could toggle it actually.
I don't know what the toggle is. I think you can toggle it, but I don't know. Oh, I need audio here. Hold on. Okay, good. Eileen did not get hit. I have to listen for that enemy to hit Eileen, and it did not hit Eileen.
If I figure it out, I'll let you know. I've been doing a lot of tinkering on my slot machine.
Yeah, let me know. Oh, I was telling Maxie as well. If you put too many tokens in it, it thinks you're doing something wrong. It thinks you're doing something shady, and it locks itself out. So.
Oh, so that's what that means. Does it show like a yellow triangle?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I saw. Because I think at one point I put 50 tokens in there just to like load it up, but it thinks something shady is going on, and it shuts itself off. And also, if you move it while it's on, it thinks you're trying to steal it, and it shuts itself off too. So,
good.
A little Silent Hill slot machine lore there. This is what they abandoned all the conventional video games for. If you go to Vegas, all you see in Vegas is Konami slot machines now. So it's good stuff. All right, we're in Subway 2. We got to focus on the tokens here. We're going to meet Cynthia. We're going to do another pause load. Now, we're going to do another new strategy here that has appeared since the last time I was on Hotfix. It's called the Cynthia Portal. We're going to wait right here. I do need audio. We're going to wait right here to try to get Cynthia out of this room. We're going to wait 1 second, and... there it was. I don't know if you could hear it. It was very light, very faint, but if you hear like a noise, that means Cynthia has exited that area and will not damage Eileen. So that was very good. Just to play it safe, I did wait to hear the sound effect, and we did get it. So Cynthia has left that area and is now chasing us. So that means Eileen should not be taking any damage while we've left her up there. So that is a new thing that has been discovered since I was on the hotfix the last time in February. So shout outs to everybody that worked on that and found that out. All right, remember we unlocked that door earlier that we didn't go through? There it is. So now we can go right through it. We're gonna go do some inventory management. We're gonna go back to the room and we're going to get rid of everything in our inventory except the coin. Everything else, gone. It will be out of the inventory. Once we get back, we're gonna do some, oh, that's something else I did not talk about. If you wanna go the fastest when you're in the room, first person, strafe walk. Turn Henry to a side and just strafe walk. Oh, got a little crazy there. And he will move as fast as possible, sometimes too fast, as you saw right there. So we have to wash the coin. And again, this game doesn't really do puzzles or really leave anything to your imagination. If you examine the coin, it says, you know, I should probably wash this off in the sink in my room. So it doesn't really challenge your brain like.
And then put it in that vending machine that I saw earlier with the signal on it.
With the weird symbol, right? they tell you everything to do. So
it's like Bioshock Infinite. Really, wait a minute, that card.
There's not much brain bending. Yeah. So we're gonna camera tilt here. It won't let you camera tilt till you get halfway through, which is bizarre. All right, we're gonna do escalator again, but this escalator will be a lot simpler. There's only 4 of these. Again, the first one is free no matter what. But the thing that's gonna make this interesting, we are gonna come back down this way. So get ready for that. That is going to be the interesting thing to watch. But they give it to you a little bit easier here. There's only 4 total enemies. There's not what? There's almost 10 the first time.
Yeah, and something I didn't mention before, and is that the hitboxes of those attacks are huge and last longer than they may seem.
And if they attack with their left arm, they're even longer. And it looks like their animation is complete, but it's not. If they attack with their left arm and it's a super slow attack, you better wait until it is not moving anymore or you will go flying. All right, now Eileen may make it through the turnstile here. Oh, she won't. Excellent. All right, good. Because I had to wait a little bit longer to do the Cynthia portal, but perfect. If Eileen comes with you through the turnstile, then you have to wait for her to like come back up to the top, and it just wastes about 15 seconds or most, but she did not.
Manipulating Eileen is actually a huge part of it. Sure that she doesn't follow Henry certain routes that she doesn't really.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that that's a part of the game, but it is what it is. But it turned out pretty well. Hopefully Eileen is fine. I hope she's not limping, because now, okay, she's fine. She's right there. Wow, this has turned out pretty great. I gotta say, she's right there. Hopefully she's not limping, because I am kind of interested as to why she took so long to get there, because I waited longer for the portal, but, oh, perfect. She's not, wow. She's not limping. I love it. Yeah. Eileen, thank you for recognizing where we are right now. Thank you. All right, here we go. I need a little silence here. I need to listen for the enemies. This is where the GOG widescreen version really helps. Oh, jeez. All right, they're swinging with their right arm. Those are way easier to avoid. We only got 2 more. If Eileen gets hit by any of those enemies, it's fine. It's acceptable. It's not nearly as much damage as it would be if Cynthia was up there with her. Oh, this is great. All right, one more, and then we can talk freely again. Oh, perfect. They all swung with their right arm. Oh, my goodness. Excellent. Now, the next thing we have to watch for, and thing we just watched, we have to see if okay, he didn't spawn in the cart, so that's good. Sometimes that ghost that just spawned outside can spawn inside the cart, and it can run interference, so that's good. We are nearing the end of Subway 1. We have to be careful not to bump Eileen back, so we're gonna walk. There we go, and Cynthia is out of the way. I love it.
All right.
In previous runs, oh, sorry?
Oh, it's not all right.
This is going really well. In previous routes, we would pick up the Sword of Obedience right there, but now we don't. We pick it up in the very beginning at that ghost in Building World 1. All right, so Eileen's looking good. I mean, she's not looking great. I mean, but she's not limping. Hopefully no chanting. So let's give it another spin. Oh, no.
Where's Daddy?
No. Not here, Eileen. Not here. All right. Sometimes that happens. We don't have a melee weapon to knock her out of that. I still can't get anything on this.
Well, it is a slot machine.
I have this thing rigged too for the best odds. There we go. We got a free spin finally. Oh, it's talking. It's talking to us. It's the blue car postcard. All right. So we're going back to Forest World 2. I didn't think about using that until I was running this in practice, and then I was like, oh, you know, there's some dead points where, like on regular GDQ, we would ask for donations. Why not spin a slot machine while we're at it? All right. So we're gonna get the torch here. Now the game straight up tells you go back to your room and put it in the oil, but you don't need to. As long as you know where to go, you do not need to do it. It lasts, I think, for 1 or 2 rooms. All right, so we're gonna slowly pull Eileen out here. Hopefully the dogs do not argue with us. Oh, look at this. Would you look at that? The dog didn't even acknowledge me. What is going on here?
Enemies are really cooperating.
We're getting reverse marathon lunch.
I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, there. Okay, Eileen turned around. Okay. That's okay.
So something that's like super scary about this area is that finally Walter is like, all right, I'm getting sick of this. And he whips out, what was it, like a little submachine gun and a chainsaw.
We're about to see it, yeah. I forgot about that. Walter starts stalking you in this point. So when we go through here, oh, we didn't get hit by the bird. Here we go. Here's Mr. Sullivan. As Maxie said, he's got a chainsaw and a gun. Wow, everything was really chill. Oh my goodness, the bird didn't hit me and Walter didn't really seem to care. Woo, unbelievable.
I don't want to say it, man. I don't want to say it.
It doesn't matter if you say it or not.
That's true, but I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. The game knows. Silent Hill 4 is omniscient. It knows what's going on.
What if Twin Victim 2?
We'll see what happens. Look at Walter, just straight up doesn't care. Sometimes Walter can get very aggressive and sprint towards you with his chainsaw. He doesn't seem to care.
Walter's just happy to be.
He's happy to be on GDQ, as we all are.
That we are.
All right. For anybody wondering as well, I keep forgetting to mention things like this because I know some people may be seeing this for the first time, and I apologize. If you see that I'm not trying to attack the birds there, it's because it would take more time to avoid them or kill them than it would be just to take the 1 second hit. So you just accept it. You just accept your fate pretty much with the birds. And we're going to go in here. We're going to do another pause load. Our old friend Jasper is going to show back up. He's played a little too much NBA Jam. As you see, he's hit a lot of 3-pointers in a row.
That chocolate milk was spicy.
It was. Very spicy.
God, spicy milk sounds awful.
Would you look at this? I didn't get hit by the birds. What is going on? Agdisis, Maxie, what is going on here?
I'm telling you, Twin Victim hallway.
Look at that. It went right by the ghost. What is going on? I know we're asking for it. I know we're asking for the Twin Victim hallway. And the one truth I know we're asking for. Oh, by the way, I got perfect one truth on my warm-up run, so that is not happening again either. I can tell you that right now. All right, we're gonna light that torch. How many body parts do we have? I don't want to look. Well, okay, we got 2. So we have to get 5 like mannequin body parts here to stick on what they call doll parts. So we have to get the doll parts with the head that looks suspiciously like Patrick Stewart down there. I don't know why, but it does. All right, we're going to go back this way. We got 3 of 5. Let's see where Steve is right here. Okay, so we're going to have to maneuver around Steve Garland right here. Sometimes he can be just out of the way, and it's great. But he got in our way right there. So we're just going to go this way, do a little camera tilt. There we go. Optimal movement here for Henry. Oh, bird. Optimal movement for Henry here is going to be knowing when to camera tilt and what angles to camera tilt and what buttons to hold down. All right, so we've lit the torch. We're gonna get doll part 4. I really shouldn't call it body part because the game outright says doll. So we're gonna get the 4th doll part here. Sometimes I can get a boost from this Twin Victim right here. It didn't follow us. That's good. That's good though, because we're not risking attack either. So Eileen has been in this area the whole time. Eileen has been in this area. She's safe from enemies. It doesn't affect her possessed levels. She's fine once you get her to this area. There's no enemies that can attack her. It's a safe area. And we're doing really good on health, so I do not need to pick up the health kit here. I didn't do great on health on my practice run, so... But we're going to pick up our first real melee weapon. Well, technically, the torch is a melee weapon. You can use it as a melee weapon, but as an emergency, but we don't need to. So we've picked up the Pickaxe of Despair. We're only going to use that for the final boss fight. It is the fastest way to kill the final boss. We can light the torch for some reason staring at the wall. I don't know why that is. All right, Steve's ghost loaded right there. He's got the shovel. He swings it at us, but he's not really a good shot. So we're able to avoid it. We're going to get our 5th and final doll part here. And then we are going to wrap up Force World 2.
Yeah,
and I do not have...
A huge reason why this world is actually so quick nowadays is because of the items that Enigma put back in the box in the apartment in Subway World. So you have so many slots in your inventory. You don't actually have to go back to the apartment to put anything away to hold all of these items.
Yep.
Very important route change in the past couple years.
You gotta slowly do that. Yeah, there you go. To pull Eileen down, because if you don't do that, Eileen is just gonna stay right there on that staircase at the bottom and do that. But yeah, the route has changed significantly on that one. I think the way we used to do it was we would get the four doll parts, and we would put them on the mannequin thing, and then go get the fifth one. But now we get the Sword of Obedience earlier, and we come there, and yeah, it's pretty streamlined now. Spin again. Oh my goodness, was that the gate that appeared up there? You know, this is interesting that I'm doing this, because you actually do have to pay a little bit of attention here to make sure Eileen does not scrape the guardrails, because if she scrapes the guardrail, she's going to stop, sidestep back over, and it does waste some time. So it does take, what I'm doing here does take a little talent. So I don't want anyone to think it's a free no tech spot. Oh, Eileen moving fast. Hi, Walter. Hello. Goodbye. All right. This is another thing that has changed. We are going to run, or at least since I ran this last year, we're going to run with Eileen all the way down. We're not going to go down ladders. We're not going to do anything. And ironically enough, this is the part of the game that saves Eileen from getting destroyed at the end during the final boss fight. I don't know how or why, but it does. Even when we took the shortcuts, this is what stopped Eileen from getting crushed in the Event Horizon Ball of Doom at the very end. Wow, are you seeing this?
Yeah.
She's right there, and the birds have not attacked her yet.
The hummers have not done it.
What is going on? Yeah, those are going to pop up, but the ones up top were just like,
man. They were just vibing.
I don't even care if they look at. Oh, there. Okay, here we go. Hey, that's still good though. Let me change the camera there. That's another thing. I'll mention it when we go on the next one. You hit tab, and I think it's left trigger on the console versions to change the camera view, and it's a lot easier to run towards the camera with Eileen in the background as opposed to the other way. So we do that on purpose. All right, Eileen, don't look back at the birds. Come on. She's doing great. She's not even chanting or telling me to slow down. Look at this.
Yeah,
and we're almost at the bottom.
That happens. Eileen's like, you're going fast. It's like, this is a speed run, lady.
All right, so we're gonna do a little thing here to keep Eileen in this room. We're going to put her into a knockback animation so that she does not come back through the door, so she is safely in that hallway for the remainder of this area. And we are going to retraverse some areas. Oh, there's Walter. We got him. He couldn't get to us in time. You know, sometimes Walter won't attack us there either. He'll just attack the birds. Walter, and it goes with the story of him. He just, I think, what did Schreiber call him? An inhuman killing machine? He just, you never know if he's going to focus on you or the other enemies. Like sometimes he'll just go for the birds. He won't even acknowledge you're there. This is a pretty fascinating game to play.
Yeah, fun fact, if you give Eileen a weapon, because she does actually get like a couple weapons in the game, if you go into like a world that has like a bunch of enemies, sometimes Eileen and Walter can both attack the same enemy, and Henry's just standing there watching.
It's great. Just for safety, I'm gonna pick up that health drink, because you never know what will happen. Igdisis knows what we're about to come up to.
Yeah, so it's coming.
I'm picking up the health drink just to be, you know, a little safe, but our health is really good for right now. We're going to go dip the shirt in the bathtub, and then we're going to do our final inventory management for the game. And I will let you know why we keep a certain thing in here. So we're going to keep the subway card in our inventory, because we are going to need that in the final boss fight to do some animation skips. And I'll explain the animation skips when we get there, or one of my commentators will once we get there. But if you're wondering why I did not put that up, it's not a mistake. It is the way it's supposed to be. So we're gonna do some animation skips here. This is the only time you really do these. We're going to equip the gun right here. See, I equipped the gun, but I went through the door immediately after, so it skips that animation. And I have the silver bullet here, so we're gonna try to get hit and equip it at the same time. Didn't get it. Didn't get it either. Let's try one more time. Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it on the last one. So what I did was I equipped the silver bullet at the same time that I got hit so that it skipped the animation, because it's quicker just to take the hit than it is to watch him load that bullet. It takes a few seconds. All right, we have healed.
All right.
For the twin victim hallway. For those of you that watched the GDQ hotfix I was on in February, we had a little trouble with this room coming up here. But in my defense, I had been a little sick with the C word in January, and I didn't have a lot of time to really prep for this. But I've been prepping this for the last month. But sometimes Silent Hill 4 doesn't really care how much you prepare for things. So we'll see what happens here. So we're gonna pull up the map here. Pulling up the map stops in game time. We're gonna watch for Eileen's triangle to get right to that little red circle right there. And as soon as she's there, we should be able to go through. And there she is. Okay, so we're gonna keep Eileen close to us here. My health is looking really good. So unless just something awful happens in this hallway, we should be good.
I'm telling you, man. It's been a good run.
All right, we should be able to keep Eileen here. Make sure she came in. There she is. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is where it almost fell apart last time. Let's see if we can correct it this time. Let's get the run back. Here we go. Turn. Come on with me.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Oh my God, I died.
I told you.
Are you kidding me? I died. We can continue. It's all good.
Yeah, continues are fine. I told you, man.
Are you kidding me?
you.
I'm telling you, that's what happens. Unbelievable. I had it. That was perfect. And I told you, Silent Hill 4 does not care. When all of those enemies get right up there, it does not matter. That is unbelievable. I probably should have picked up the second health package there, but it just didn't happen. Did you see what happened there? Unbelievable.
That is the marathon luck, though. I knew the moment was
That
like,
is the way it goes.
Everything's going too good, man.
Eileen did everything she was supposed to do. It was not on Eileen right there. Unreal. The enemies were so aggressive, they were pushing me away from the door. So we'll roll it again. So this gives us an opportunity to mention a little thing about Silent Hill 4 that it does very interestingly. You know how Resident Evil has DA stuff, damage adjustment. This game kind of sort of has it, but it's only if you die or if you quit the game and continue it. But it only does it to a very tiny degree. So this technically would push us into a new category called quit continue. But yes, what you just saw is something that can happen, unfortunately. And everything there went correct. But for those of you in the chat wondering why I couldn't get through the door, Eileen was not close enough to the door for me to go through it. But the enemies were just swarming that door so much that I couldn't get there. So let's try it again. But that's all right. This is just an exhibition. We're not really going for incredible times or anything. Look at Eileen, perfect. See how they just push me away? There we go. That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. So
there we go.
In that example right there, like the enemies were bundled up, but they weren't attacking Enigma constantly. It's the first time where Enigma died. They were just constantly attacking.
Constantly. Just the way it goes. Just the way it goes. The twin victims know when we're on GDQ. That's the thing. That's the thing.
And that's not a bad question. Would it be faster to kill them? You know, back when this game wasn't as optimized, we actually did used to kill them with the handgun. We'd line them up and get multiple shots, and we wouldn't even kill them. We would just shoot them so that they fell on the ground and they wouldn't move around and stuff. But that is just, I mean, it's a speed run. You got to save all the seconds you can. So in an optimal run, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah. It's fun to do on a cat. Oh, see, there's an example of Henry just running anywhere when you're holding the right direction. That is a little bit of a bummer. It is going to make, unfortunately, some things a little easier, but that's out of our control, so that's all right.
The difficulty adjustment in this game is so minuscule. You have to die a lot or quit a lot.
So what we just did right there is an Eileen out of bounds. We knocked Eileen back so that she did not come through this elevator. What you're supposed to do in this part of the game is pick up 4, I think what they call the 4 reminiscences, 4 items of the past or something, 4 memories of the past. But what happens is because Eileen did not go into that elevator, she is behind that fence that we just passed. And if you, I'll just need audio right here. If you wait right here, hear the footsteps? Look at that. Eileen did her own little out of bounds. And we have instantly skipped everything that you need to do in this area. It's like the only real major like glitch or out of bounds in this. And it's not even us doing it. It's Eileen doing the out of bounds. Like the fence that's there despawns once we get into that area. And it's pretty nice.
It's also kind of a blessing because this area kind of sucks.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks.
Because I'll need audio right here. Hold on, I gotta hear for her footsteps to change. There we go. Once she walks off the steps and onto the floor, you can pull her through that grate. So that's why I need to listen.
Yeah, this area is brutal. If you try to do it without doing the Eileen out of bounds, it's just so hard to get Eileen through all of the routes and also, you know, manage your inventory and avoid all the enemies. It's really chaotic. It's one of the chaotic when trying to escort Eileen.
This is the first of the Silent Hill games that really did that thing where it just likes to cram enemies in small areas. And Building World 2 is definitely awful about it. There's areas where there's maybe like 4 or 5 of those gumhead enemies that make the primal noises, and it's awful. It really is. So whoever found that out of bounds back in the day, bless you. Thank you for saving us a whole lot of grief. So right now, we're just going down steps. You know how we went up the steps earlier? Well, now we're going down the steps. I'm sort of stopping and doing the stair skipping thing. As you see, wow, Eileen is right behind me. What on earth is going on? Why couldn't twin victims cooperate? Everything else on this is just perfect. I just don't understand. Look, she's right there.
It makes you feel better. All right, I'm gonna guess now. One truth goes well, really well.
All right, let's see. Nope. 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 Ah, I missed it. It's okay.
Well,
let's try to get these when they come back down. All right, so we'll probably need to use our melee weapon on these. This is what I like to call Silent Hill whack-a-mole. We have to find the right one. Okay, it's neither one of those. All right, so let's just call a spade. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. All right, let's see if we can get these two. What hit me? What are you doing? Remember the escalator enemies? That's exactly what these are. They're just expanded. So their collision boxes and their hit boxes are really out of whack because they're the same enemies. So we got bad RNG here, unfortunately. I know I didn't hit that second one. I'll come back to it if none of these other hit. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's that. Wow, this is horrible.
Oh my goodness.
Awful. Look at this.
Well,
look at this. I just got clotheslined.
At least it wasn't the twin victim hallway.
I know, right? It won't kill me, at least. It's all good. All right, so I will need to... God, you see how long it takes to load that melee weapon? You're gonna hit me again, aren't you? Oh wow, I got lucky there. Okay, there we go. That was total talent right there. That was not luck whatsoever.
All skill.
That was total talent. I know what I'm doing. Oh, Eileen's limping a little bit. She was taking some damage in there.
Although speaking of luck.
Yes.
Oh, I was expecting you just to push the slot machine.
Oh, I'm a little concerned right now because Eileen's limping, so that kind of caught my attention.
That's true.
So here's a monkey wrench that's been thrown into our plans. Eileen is now limping, so when Eileen starts limping, she takes a lot longer to do things. But thankfully, we're getting to a point in the game where we can ditch her. But she may start chanting. But as you can see, one of the things that drives people away, as much as I enjoy running this game and as much as entertaining as I think it is, One of the things that tends to run people away from this game is the one truth, that room that we just did. Because you see how quickly a good run can just evaporate into thin air. And it just happened again. So, and you see what's happened to Eileen. She took some damage and she starts limping. And you see now I have to be really careful. I don't have time to, do I have time? Let's see. Oh, we lost again. I got perfect one truth on my practice run before this. I knew it was not going to translate over. This game is showing me up in front of everybody. All right, we're going to pull Eileen down. We're almost at the bottom. This is still a really good run. With all the stuff that I could control, really good run. It's just in the future, what I'll probably do if I ever get this back on here again, I'll probably be safe and get those 2 health drinks for the twin victim hallway. And if I don't end up needing them, we'll just burn them because we're near the end of the game anyway. So
the best cutscenes in the game, right here.
Oh yeah, this is if you're playing this game casually, this is a huge plot dump cutscene where Schreiber comes out of the ceiling and just tells you everything that's going on. It's wonderful. So in here, you're going to see, we have to pick up all these memos to proceed, but you only have to pick up these far 3 on the left side. You don't need to pick up that one on the dresser on the right side. You can leave that one alone. I don't know why, and I don't think the developers did that on purpose, but you only need to pick up these 3. So that one over there, we can just leave. You don't need it. And every second is precious on this run. So
if anyone's wondering, yes, Eileen does stop limping eventually, but it doesn't really matter because, as Enigma said, we're going to be ditching her.
We're getting rid of her. All right, so it's reveal time. We picked up a thing called the Pickaxe of Hope, which puts you in this back room that previously you didn't know was there. And hello, there's Walter on this speed run brought to you by the letter T, apparently. So we're going to grab the evil-looking keys from Walter. We're going to escape room 302, and we can finally ditch Eileen. Yes! All right, we can finally get rid of Eileen. And we can wrap this one up. It does not matter if Eileen follows us or not. And we're going to go this way. There's going to be a twin victim down here. Oh, whoa, that one tried to hit me. Twin victims. Give me a break. I'm on GDQ for crying out loud. They just don't care. They get really aggressive when they know a lot of people are watching. Unbelievable. Hello, Cynthia. Bye, Cynthia. There's going to be 2 patient enemies out here. Let's see. All right,
Secret
good.
elbow?
They didn't attack me. Nope, we did not get it. We might get it on the way back. We did not get it this time. Walter's going to be in this room. Okay, he didn't show up. Walter's been chill. Walter was chill this run. He didn't chase me down there or anything. Shout outs to Walter Sullivan. Maybe I need to quit insulting him so much when we hear him on the staircase.
Start insulting the twin victims.
What was that?
Start insulting the twin victims instead.
I know. I need to start insulting them so they back off. Jesus. They've been rude during these last 2 hotfix runs.
Yeah.
Egdisis, I apologize on behalf of the twin victims. They've been behaving very rudely.
Oh, you're all good. It's a fun show, and it's really, like you said, it's an exhibition here.
Yep.
So it's all part of the fun. And now I have a new benchmark on GDQ curses because I knew, I was like, it's gonna happen, man.
It's you had a feeling, you had a premonition that it was gonna happen, and I didn't want to believe it, but you know your stuff. That's why you're the host of the show. That's you know the deal.
I will say that it was looking good until the I guess I just blocked the Eileen from getting close enough.
It was great. It was great up until then. So if you're wondering what we're doing here, we have these little bodiless husks of Walter Sullivan. You can tell by the hair. And we're hearing Walter's dad say very mean, stupid things to Walter's mom about Walter. Walter is kind of a sad character. That's why I can't really dump on. I can't dunk on him too much. He did get the short end of the stick, but he is behaving badly now, and we have to shut him down. So
he does have like one of the coolest antagonist stories in horror games, though, in my opinion.
I have always thought that this game would make a really good movie. This game would make a really good horror movie. It's not the greatest game. It does have some shortcomings in that area, but I've always thought Silent Hill 4 would make a fantastic movie if somebody gave it the love that it deserved. It's got a great story. Walter's Walter is a wonderfully deep character once you get into all the details of his past and things. They did a really good job with that. The gameplay leaves a little bit to be desired, but the story in this, I think, is fabulous. All right, well, the bell is tolling, so we are on our way to the final boss fight. For those of you keeping score, we did pick up, now stay with me here, I know it's a little wild. Oh, we're not gonna get elbowed again. We are going, we picked up an umbilical cord. We did, all right? I'm just not, you know. Frank Sunderland, James's father, when Walter was abandoned, he found him with an umbilical cord and he kept it because he felt bad. He couldn't compel himself to get rid of it. But lately it's been behaving weird as Walter has been close to completing the 21 sacraments, and we need that for the final boss fight. That's right. We went from chocolate milk to umbilical cords. It's a little, we went from one extreme to another, but it's just how Silent Hill 4 works.
Silent Hill 4 did it before Bloodborne.
It did. Silent Hill 4 was the originator. All right, here we go. Final boss fight. Here we go. We're gonna go into, we're gonna go into this little, I can't think of the word. What's that area? Purgatory, a little purgatory area. All right, so we're gonna put the umbilical cord in there. All right, so this is new. We are going, oh, hello, come on. We are going to focus on the subway card. We're gonna keep that in there, and we're gonna try to use it on the spear. Watch what happens. Look at this, he grabs it, but he's a unicorn roller skater. Watch this. It's incredible. Sorry, I'm getting a little nervous. There we go. All right, there we go. Look at this.
It's a fun strat.
And it looks silly. Hold on. But it saves so much time. And he went the wrong way. It saves so much time if you get that. It looks ridiculous. But if you do that consistently, it saves so much time because he grabs the spears and just stands there and you have to wait for the animation to finish. I was having a little trouble on this with practice too, and the way I have my keys set is not helping because I have to spread my hand out, and the camera cuts are not helping either. There we go.
There goes Walter.
If I can keep Walter there, that would be pretty sweet. Oh, look at that.
It's actually
wow,
optimal to keep him in that spot.
He might not stay there. Oh, wow. Oh, I brought it home. Oh my goodness. Those are the ones I usually have trouble with.
Oh, what, 7
Walter
of 8
may
skates?
slide, and that's okay. Oh my goodness, he did it. Oh, this is good.
This is really good.
Really good. I'll be interested to see the final time on this. It'll probably, Eileen limping on that staircase. Oh, in case you're wondering, this is the real Walter Sullivan that we're stabbing right now. This is what Walter Sullivan has turned into. So that's like God Walter Sullivan, and there's Ghost Walter Sullivan. Walter Sullivan in this form cannot be attacked unless you put those 8 spears in the real Walter. Oh no, the camera cut! The camera cut threw me off. It's okay. We'll take the hits.
It's such a mix of emotions.
I'll take the shots. It's okay. Wow, that camera shot, that camera cut threw me off so bad. All right, there we go. I have iframes when I'm doing that. All right, that should be okay. 1. Okay, that's fine. That's okay if he stays right there. 2, he might back up again. He won't kill me, I know that. 3, oh, I got screwed by that camera cut. 4, all right, there we go. Let's see if we got the 4 hit. There we go, got the 4 hit. That camera cut, that YouTube camera cut screwed me right there. This camera cuts really mess you up. And time.
All right, GG.
106.25. I'll take it. Yeah, time did not. I almost forgot. Time actually doesn't hit until that cutscene fades. So when you get the final hit, that is not time. It's not time until that cutscene fades. So we got it. 106. What was it?
25.
106.25. Nice. Very nice. So much stuff went haywire in that one. Now, obviously, that would not be a run that I could submit because I did die in the twin victim hallway. But you know, for the sake of the show, we continued and finished it up. So that's still a pretty good run.
That it was.
So yeah, so we're gonna watch the ending. Thank you everybody, by the way, who's watched. Let's So this is I think this is the good minus ending. I think this is the good minus, where it's not like the greatest thing in the world, but Eileen did not, you know, what we did in the water prison on that long walkway. Eileen did not. We save Eileen by doing that. If you rush down that staircase, Eileen will bite the big one in this final boss area. But what we do with the slow, methodical walking in the water prison staircase, we save Eileen. We keep her going. So the ghost of little Walter is out of here. We have time to chit chat, do we, or we have to move on?
Oh no, we have last run of the night.
Okay, I just didn't want to impede or impose.
No, watching the ending is all good. You're like what 3.5 minutes underestimate. So even if you're still underestimate.
3 minutes and 35 seconds to be exact. I have a math trophy at my mom's house, so 3 minutes and 35 seconds. But while we're talking, the gentleman on my couch, Maxi Lobes, ran this the other night on his channel, and he ran this at 5 speed. You want to tell him about that? How that went?
All right. Okay. So when you boot up this game, okay, GOG version is a blessing, by the way. Thank goodness we got this game on GOG. But the other thing is that if you set the game to 5 times speed, it is insane trying to get through some of these rooms and like trying to do the setups and the escalator and the twin victim hallway. It's really crazy. Yeah, I used to run this game quite a bit and then stopped. And yeah, I just kind of run it for fun now. But the 5 times speed is really funny. I think you should try it, Enigma. It'd be fun to watch.
I was cracking up when I was watching that. It was a good time.
So, question for you, Mr. Enigma. If anyone wanted to find you on Twitch or anywhere else, where can they find you?
Well, great question. I am on twitch.tv/AnEternalEnigma. My highest used social media is Twitter, so you can follow me at AnEternalEnigma as well. I do not understand Twitter's verification system, but I've been trying to get more followers to at least apply, even though I'll probably get declined because I don't know how they work for that. But you can follow me on Twitter at AnEternalEnigma as well. But I am on Twitch, full-time streamer, twitch.tv/AnEternalEnigma. We're there a lot. I've been a full-time streamer, Twitch partner since February 2017. And again, shout-outs to GDQ because my performance at AGDQ 2017 really helped kind of open the door for a lot of stuff, and I couldn't have done that without being accepted on. So I will always remember that run as long as I live. So thanks to GDQ. I appreciate every single time that I am on, whether I'm hosting during the big shows and reading donations or whether I'm doing this. I really appreciate it. So thank you then. Thank you for that. And you can find me at twitch.tv/AnEternalEnigma. And real quick, we've gone back to, Eileen wants to go back to South Ashfield Heights. I don't know why. She just loves dirty rooms. So let's see the final time. It wouldn't be submittable. 51:03. I think that is a very, very good time considering One Truth was absolute trash. Just so many weird things went off the rails, and Walter was a little wonky at the end, but I'm cool with that. 51:03. It wouldn't be a valid time because we did bite it in the twin victim hallway, but 51:03 is pretty solid, I think. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. How did both of you think it went?
Good run.
I need some outsider opinions.
Good run. That's a good run.
Yeah, I mean, another thing to keep in mind is that we had L6 R8.
That's right. We didn't really have a good hospital.
If you really think about it, like a low 49 would have been easily doable. Just with good luck. You just got some bad luck, that's all. I would say everything that was in your control for this run, I think was done quite well, and the practice definitely shows. So
yep, and we've been grinding this game a lot for the last month. I've gotten 2 PBs recently. I've gotten my time down to, I think it's 48:49 or 48:47, one of those two. I can't even remember, but I've been really excited with my progress on this game, and it's been a lot of fun to do. And I think 51:03 is a pretty good time, and yeah, I have to blow some confetti for that one. So
All
thank you
right.
all for joining me. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, it got all over me. Oh, there we go. It got all my hair.
I do want to say thank you both for being here. Before we do wrap it on up for the night, anyone have anything else they would like to add in?
I'm good. I would love to, if you enjoyed what we did here, obviously, you know, I'm on twitch.tv/AnEternalEnigma. I can't say enough about these two great folks with me. Maxi Lobes, Ecdysis, follow them as well. They are great friends of mine on Twitch and outside of Twitch. So I've pretty much said everything I would like to say. Thanks again to GDQ. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can see all of you again at AGDQ 2022. I will bring all of this out. I will have this. If we can get there, if we can make it there, I will be here in all of its glory. The jacket and the bow tie, and maybe I'll have some more stuff. If we go back in person, I may have to bring some more accessories. So, just thanks. Thank you for enjoying what we do here. Thank you for watching the run. I would love to see all of you again over in any of our channels. So, but thank you, Maxi, Ecdysis. Do either one of you have anything else?
Maxi?
I mean, yeah. Thanks for having me. Speedruns from the Crypt is always a very good representation of I would say a part of the speedrun community that doesn't necessarily have too many people keeping its eyes on it. I think the horror community does have a lot of really unique games and a lot of unique runners. So thanks, Ecdysis, for putting it all together and for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the kind words. All right. That being said, I do want to thank you all for watching this episode and the return of Speedruns from the Crypt, as after all, we did have that minor break during GDQ. We'll be back in 2 weeks, as always. Speedruns from the Crypt is a bi-weekly or every other Wednesday horror show, so we'll be here in 2 weeks, not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So I do want to say thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being here. As well, tomorrow is going to be the first step, and I'll be starting around 7 p.m. Eastern with the game called The Phantom Abyss. In addition to that, I actually like to talk a lot about how I work on the show and how all the work that goes into that. So if you'd like to kind of know about that or keep up to date with that, you can check out my own personal social media, such as Twitch. I'm Ecdysis, ECDYCIS, and in addition to that, you can also find me on Twitter at Ecdysis_Twitch. That being said, we're going to be wrapping it on up tonight. I want to say thank you all for watching and have a wonderful night. As well, we'll be raiding someone in the horror community, so come join us for that raid. Thank you all for watching, have a wonderful night, and stay spooky.